Hello everyone, and welcome to the Fictional Vortex. So we are back with an interesting movie on what if Naruto was the son of Death God and Shinigamis sealed inside Naruto. But before we start, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you enjoy my content. Let's start the story. Chapter 1 Konoha. Blood and Death was in the air of Konoha as the Kyuubi no Kitsune, best known as the most powerful Biju in existence and least known as the greatest demon prankster, continued with its path of destruction. After years of being sealed within its current host, it was finally set free by a masked ninja with a strange, swirling pinwheel eyes. Suddenly Minato Namikaze, aka the fourth Hokage, appeared on top of his toad summon, Gamabunta, and teleported the Kyuubi away from the village. Minato approached his wife Kushina Uzumaki as she called out, Chakurichan Shoheki, chakra chains barrier, to restrain the Kyuubi. Minato, I'm going to reseal the Kyuubi in me. Whatever happens, please take care of Naruto for me, a dying Kushina said. The forced extraction of the Kyuubi had nearly killed her on the spot. It was only her willpower that was keeping her going right now. No, Minato argued. In your condition right now the Kyuubi will only break free again. The only choice we have is for me to use Shiki Fujin, demon-consuming seal, to seal the yin half of the Kyuubi into me, and Haka no Fuin Shiki, 8 trigrams sealing style, to seal the yang half along with some of our chakras into Naruto to help him and act as fail-safe for the seal. But if you do that then you will die, and Naruto would ended up alone and hated as a Jinchuriki, his wife said. Don't worry, we made Jiraiya his godfather and I'm sure he will take care of Naruto, Minato assured her. Somewhere near a bathhouse, a white-haired toad sage sneezed. I feel as if I'm about to disappoint my student by forsaking the responsible that he give me. Oh well, back to my research hehe, Jiraiya said as he went back to peeping. Back to Minato and Kushina. Besides, I will make it my last request that Naruto will be viewed as a hero for imprisoning the Kyuubi. I'm positive that the village will honor my last request, the request of their beloved and awesome Hokage, Minato said with a grin. Back at Konohagakure, the minority of ninjas, the majority of civilians, and the League of Unholy Miserable Old People known as Homura, Kaharu, and Danzo sneezed. Back to Minato and other. Are you sure about that? Kushina asked skeptically. Yes, and there is no way that I could ever be wrong about this, he answered back. You just had to go and jinx it, didn't you? I'm going to beat you to a bloody pulp if anything happens to Naruto, you know, Kushina deadpanned. Okay, let's get this started, Minato said as he ignored his wife's threats and began to perform the Shiki Fujin demon-consuming seal and summoned the Shinigami. Finally, Samet, Ime away from the horror knows paperwork. Anyways, I should probably get to my job of taking souls now, the Shinigami thought as he began to pull out Kyuubi's yin chakra out of him and seal it into Minato. While this was happening, Minato and Kushina were saying their goodbyes to their son. Then, Minato sealed the rest of the fox's chakra along with part of his and his wife's chakra into their son. Your parents placed a great deal of burden on you, while at the same time they placed a lot of faith in you, little one. It seems that you will do many great things in this world, the Shinigami said while looking at Naruto. As for these two souls, once they are done with what they have to do I shall collect their souls, he said looking toward Minato and Kushina. Anything that will give me less paperwork to deal with now is good for me. As the Shinigami was about to leave, he sensed something and looked back at Naruto. It seems that while the fox was being sealed away, some my essence was sealed inside the boy as well, the Shinigami thought. I can deal with it now or wait and see how it will benefit me later on. After studying the tiny human for a moment, he made his decision. I'll just deal with it later. Might be fun to see what happened, the Shinigami concluded as he left. 5 years later in Konoha. Damn stupid villagers, why do they always do this to me every time? Naruto asked as he ran away from an angry mob of villagers once again. For Naruto, being hated, chased and beaten all the while having peoples after his life is a part of a normal week for him. Although normal is not how you would describe this spiky blonde-haired kid, because for as long as he could remember he has seen things no one could. He could see all kinds of spirits around him. First few times that he realized that he can communicate with the dead, it freaked him out, but over time by having them willing to talk to him and all the while being shunned by most of the village, he became used to them. From his strange ability, he also learned that all sort of things have a soul, from animals to plants to rocks, even the river and the air we breathe. This gave him a unique view of the world. While being the village pariah, he ended up befriending many of the friendly spirits. Due to Naruto's wind affinity, which he discovered by conversing with the spirit of a friendly shinobi a couple of years back, he gained a new familiar by the name of Cloud. Cloud was a carefree glowing gray or sliver orb with wings. Demon. Monster. The angry mob screamed as they chased Naruto. Don't worry Naru-kun. Soon the Anbu will be here to deal with the mob and then we can spend the rest of this nice day watching. Cloud said in a cheerful tone. First of all, who are you, Anara? Naruto deadpanned. Secondly, can you help me out by blinding them with a sandstorm or something? Naruto ranted as he ran. Okie dokie, replied a happy Cloud as he blew a dust storm which blinded and slowed down the incoming mob. Unfortunately for Naruto, as he turned around the next corner he came across another group of angry mob, who proceeded to beat him to a bloody pulp. As he began to pass out, the Anbu showed up and made short work of the idiot villagers, who had broken the third's law. In Naruto's mindscape, Naruto awoke to a dark, damp sewer-like place. I wonder where I am. I guess I will have to walk around to find out, he said. After wandering around aimlessly for hours, he came across a cage with the kanji for seal attached to it. Then, all of a sudden, a pair of giant red eyes appeared and focused on him. So we finally meet, you pathetic excuse for a human, it boomed. Who are you? Asked a scared Naruto. I am the great and powerful Kyuubi no Kitsune, it boomed again. Ah, help, I'm going to get eaten by a demon fox. Naruto screamed as he ran madly around in a circle. After running around for a few minutes he slammed into the Shinigami. You don't know how lucky you are, kid. You almost kicked the bucket there, said the Shinigami. Upon seeing the Shinigami's demonic face, Naruto fainted. How the hell is it possible for him to faint inside his own mind, he deadpanned. Hey kid, wake up. I don't have all day, you know, the Shinigami sighed. Please don't eat me, a scared Naruto asked. We're not going to eat you, the Shinigami replied. I don't know. I haven't had a decent meal in a long time, the Kyuubi added as he licks his lip. Shut up Kurama, the Shinigami snapped. Kurama, Naruto asked. That's the name of the giant furball here, the Shinigami said as he pointed to a pissed-off Kurama. I suppose I should change my appearance so you stop freaking out, he said as the Shinigami changed his appearance to handsome man. With dark eyes and white hair slicked back. He wore a black suit with white gloves, a black fedora and a cane. Where are we? What are we doing here and what are you? Naruto asked, waving his arm about. We are in your mind. You're here because you were knocked unconscious. The Kyuubi is here because the fourth Hokage sealed it inside your gut to save the village. I'm the Shinigami and I am here to talk to you, the Shinigami said as he counted off the questions. Also, if you were wondering about the demonic look, it because I look badass with it, but then again, I always look badass, he saw. It is cross his arm in a gangster pose while both Naruto and Kurama sweat dropped at that. So that's why the villagers hate me. They think I'm the Kyuubi, Naruto said as he dropped his head. Yep, they're that stupid to not know the difference between the cereal box and the prize inside it, but you don't worry about it because you are not Fluffy-chan, the Shinigami said. Yeah, like a pathetic human like you could be me. Hey, don't call me Fluffy-chan, Kurama growled. Anyways, this talk may take some time, so can you change the scenery around here and feed some rabbits or something to Mr. Ego here? The Shinigami asked. I can do that, Naruto asked. Yes, the Shinigami replied. Change it to what? Naruto asked again. Make the surrounding into something decent looking. This is your mind, is it not? The Shinigami replied. Naruto closed his eyes. Then the scene changed into an infinite blue sky with white clouds floating around and they were stand on top of an endless sea that reflected the sky above. The Kyuubi had a collar with the seal on the dog tag around his neck. Next to him was a giant white rabbit and in front the fox was a table and 2 comfortable chairs for Naruto and the Shinigami to sit in. This tastes like miso ramen and it doesn't bleed, Kurama growled. That's because the only thing they feed me is ramen. Miso is the best flavor by the way, and I don't want to have any more nightmares than I already do, so no blood for you, Naruto deadpanned. Anyways, the first thing on our agenda is that I want to make a deal with Kurama. I have your yin chakra with me, and with it I can make a body for you so you can come out to the outside world to get some fresh air. I can place the new seal on him to let you do this if you make a promise to me that you will protect and help the kid. And with the new body and seal you can eventually end up being truly free if you make an oath with me to amend for your past sin by doing good deeds and promise to end to do any more evil deeds after you're free, the Shinigami said. Interesting, but being good is not my thing, Kurama said. The kid will help you take down that S-rank shinobi that you are pissed at, Shinigami said. Who? Naruto asked. I tell you later, but for now help me out here, he replied to Naruto before returning his attention to the Kyuubi. Well, the Shinigami asked. Good, but no, Kurama countered. I give you more bunnies to eat and add some different flavors that are both ramen and non-ramen in taste, Naruto added. Keep going, an interested fox said. I will. Make the kid stronger and you have the most powerful host as your partner. And, candy. I'm not a little kid. Women. Nope. Men. I don't swing that way. Hi. Now you guys are just making things up. Disneyland. How the hell do you know about that place? How about you help me prank peoples that are mean to me? Ha ha ha, having people suffer unimaginable pain and humiliation is the ultimate form of entertainment. Okay, you have yourself a deal, Kurama agreed with an evil smile on his face. Kurama, I think you have a lot of unresolved issues to deal with, but for now, let's move on to the next issue at hand. Naruto, as you know now, the fourth Hokage was unable to kill Kurama here, so he was left with no choice but to seal him in you, the Shinigami said as Naruto nodded in response. However, he couldn't seal all of the fox's chakra, so the fourth summoned me to seal half of it in him and the other half in you, but while I was there I wasn't careful about controlling my power, so when Kurama was being sealed in you some of my essence got sealed into you, giving you a little bit of my ability. Are you just being lazy again? Kurama huffed. Ability? You mean how I can see spirits and weird stuff? Naruto asked. Yes, but there is more to it than that and my minion here will tell you all about it, the Shinigami said as a black bird appeared in front of him. I'm not your minion, I'm your employee. Don't make me call the union on you, the bird ranted, before turning to the blonde boy. Anyways, hi Naruto-kun, I used to be a Konoha ninja when I was alive. But after I died I made a deal to be a reaper, a middleman for the Shinigami, the bird said. Why? Naruto asked. I can't tell you why right now because of a certain reason, also because of that Ray. Son, I can't tell you my real name either, so until that time you can call me Crow, he answered. So because of the situation you are in, I decided to help you grasp your ability. In return, you have to work for me, the Shinigami said. But I want to be a ninja, then fulfill my dream of becoming the Hokage, Naruto stated. Oh, you can still do those things. What I'm asking from you won't interfere with your dream. I'm just asking you to do a few tasks for me when you have the time, the Shinigami responded smoothly. What would I be doing for you? Naruto asked. You will be helping any spirits with any task that they need help with and help the spirits of the dead with any unfinished business so they can move on to the afterlife. Once you get stronger, I want you to help me hunt down certain immortals that are foolish enough to believe they can escape me. You don't need to worry about that right now. Most likely you will cross paths with them eventually, he answered. Sure, and hing that makes me strong and awesome sounds good to me, Naruto replied. Okay, let me make a few adjustments to the seal to make things a little easier for you now and I will start working on crafting a body for the fox with his yin chakra. Once that is done, there will be more things for you to do, so until then Crow here will tell you about your unique ability, the Shinigami said before he left. So let me tell you about your abilities, or should I say Kekkei Genkai, since you can pass it to your descendants. Also I should tell you about the Kekkei Genkai you got from the fox as well, Crow said. Kekkei Genkai? Naruto asked. It looks like I have a lot to explain, so let's begin, Crow sighed. Omake. Q&A with Naruto, Crow and Kurama. So why did you attack Konoha for anyway? Naruto asked. I think I will tell you when you become a genin, Kurama replied. Why does the Shinigami eat a person's soul for? Naruto asked. The gateway to the afterlife is in the bowels of the Shinigami's stomach, Crow answered. Okay. Oh hey, you are sealed in my gut, right? Naruto asked. Don't remind me, Kurama huffed. And we are in my mind, right? Naruto continued. Yes we are. Where are you going with this, Naruto-kun? Crow asked. Well, I know that I sometimes tend to think with my stomach. At this Kurama chuckled, but, Naruto continued while ignored the fox. How come I can talk to the fox in my mind when he's in my gut? Quote ellipsis quote. Quote ellipsis quote. Quote ellipsis quote. I'm not sure Naruto-kun, Crow answered. I have no idea, Kurama replied. Mind link, Crow suggested. How the chakra network is set up. Kurama added. Pocket universe, astral projection, magic. 42. Well, I guess it is just one of those life mysteries that we will never know, Crow concluded. You mean like where babies come from? Naruto asked. Actually that's one of those, we will tell you when you are older, things, Crow said. And I can't wait to see the brat's face when he finds out. Kurama chuckled. See. Chapter 2 tilde even in death the hero have to save the princess tilde. The infirmary inside the Hokage tower. Naruto woke up with Cloud and Crow next to him. Yeah, Naru-kun is alive and best of all we have a new friend to play with. Said a spirited Cloud cheered. I'm glad to know that my life comes second to meeting new people for you, Naruto deadpanned. Well if you do die then you will just end it up as a ghost and we will still be friend. Cloud said with a smile. But I will be dead, Naruto said trying to get his point across. So it not like I'm going to discriminate against you due to your state of existence, Cloud responded. That not the point, Naruto sighed. Just then the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, steps in to check up on Naruto. Ah Naruto you're finally awake, I sorry for what happened. And will do everything in my power to make sure it won't happen again. Anyway how are you feeling right now? The Thrid asked. I'm fine Gigi and thanks for worrying about me, I appreciated it, Naruto responded. Think nothing of it, it is my job to take care of all the people within this village, said Sarutobi, then he turned his head and saw Crow. That is an unusually pet you have there, will you be able to take care of it Naruto? Quote, he can see you, a shocked Naruto asked. Yes he can see me, why wouldn't he? Crow responded. Aren't you like dead therefore a spirit, he stated. Yes but I LSO work for Shinigami-sama as a reaper therefore given certain privilege such as having a physical form that can be seen by those in the physical world, Crow answered. Naruto are you taking to the bird and what do you mean by it being dead? Sarutobi asked. Though in this form because they can't communicate with spirits, so for them it will be like speaking to any other animal therefore they wouldn't understand anything I say. Crow added. So what do we do now? Naruto asked. We can tell him the truth. From what I remember of the third I believe him to be trustworthy, Crow said. Okay. Gigi there's something I have to tell you and I don't want other to know about it yet, so can we keep it a secret between us, Naruto asked. Sure. Let me seal the room so no can eavesdrop on our conversation, Sarutobi said as he began to seal the room, Okay let's starts with letting you know I know about Kyuubi no Kitsune being sealed in me, Naruto stated. What? Who told you? Asked an angry Hokage. No told me, I met him when I pass out along with the Shinigami, said Naruto as he began to tell the Hokage of the meeting between the Shinigami, Kurama, and him. A few minutes later. So that what happened? Naruto finished after a few minutes of explanation. So you gain a Kekkei Genkai from both the Kyuubi and the Shinigami, so what exactly can they do? Sarutobi asked. From what see? Ro-sensei told me the Kitsune no Ayashi, fox healing, that I got from Kurama give me an amazing healing ability that range from a slightly increase in regeneration to resistance to most poison. As foe, are the Shinigami no Okurimono, gift of the death god, that I got from the Shinigami it allow me to communicate, see and sense the spirits around me but that part of it true potential, Naruto said. True potential? Sarutobi asked. Crow-sensei told me that the true purpose of it is to allow me to connect with a targeted soul in order to understand it from its perspective, so in a battle I can know how my opponents think and feel. Then once I am connected to the targeted soul I'm able to manipulate it to affect the mind, body and spirit of my opponent. Though what that entitle is still unknown to me. Me and Crow-sensei are still trying to figure it out, but once we do I will tell you, Naruto said. That is truly an amazing ability you have there, Naruto, the Hokage mused. Yeah, it great. And all, however, Crow-sensei told me that I need to train hard to master it and also to not heavily depend on it and work on my other skill if I want to be an uber ninja like he was, Naruto added. That is some good method to follow. The Hokage said. The next day, Naruto followed by Crow and Cloud, were walking past the bathhouse on their way to the Ninja Academy when he noticed the bottom half of a body sticking out of the wall of the female side of the hot spring. You don't see a wall with a pair of legs every day now, do you? Naruto mused. Ah, that was some nice anti-emo therapeutic session. And I got to say that brunette have some nice C-cup, said the blue spiky hair stranger with emerald green eyes as he pulled the top half of his body out of the wall. Hey, what the hell is wrong with you? Crow shouted. Yeah, you tell him, Crow-sensei, Naruto agreed. Hentai. Hentai, all of three of you are hentai, Naruto said with his eye twitching as he pointed a finger at them. The stranger stared at Naruto. Naruto stared back. Quote ellipsis quote. Quote ellipsis quote. You can see me? The stranger asked. Yes, Naruto replied. So you possess the Shinigami no Okurimono, right? The stranger asked again. Yes, Naruto replied again. Yahoo! I can finally pass on my legacy, the stranger shouted. There's no way I'm letting you turn me into a peeping Tom, Naruto said while crossing his arms. No, that come later on, wah. I'm passing on to you now as my jutsus, especially those based around the Shinigami no Okurimono. So followed me, my young new apprentice, and we will begin you torture. Your training, the stranger replied. Actually I have to get to the academy now, and also I'm not allowed to talk to stranger nor follow them anywhere, Naruto said. Don't worry about that, what you learn in the academy is pretty much useless for being a ninja for the most part, and as for the stranger danger, it doesn't apply to you because you were an orphan, the stranger commented. In response, Naruto sat down in the corner of woe and cried anime tears, saying, I know I'm an orphan, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt when people bring it up, jerk. Hee Naru-kun's eyes are making raindrop, Cloud giggle as teardrop fall on him. Harsh man, harsh, Crow added. Oh my gosh, he's going emo. I must take drastic measure to stop his emo breakdown. Nis no genjutsu, tobu ino budo no jutsu, false reality. Boot to the head technique, said the stranger as he threw a knife-made entity out of chakra, and when it hit Naruto it causes a boot to appear out of nowhere and slam into his face, leaving a shoe imprint on his face. Haha, that was classic, Kurama laughed in Naruto mind. Shut up, Naruto responded. Hey, this is the only entertainment I get, it not like there's cable TV in here, anyway get me some beef flavor ramen rabbit. I like a snack with my show, Kurama said. Fine here, jerk, Naruto replied as he went back to deal with the stranger. Ouch, what the hell, that hurts, and where did that boot come from and where did it go, but most importantly, why the hell is there a knife sticking out of my back? Naruto yelled. The knife will disappear when I cancel the jutsu, as for everything else let go somewhere private to talk, people are beginning to look at you like you are crazy and might send you to a mental institution, he replied. Yeah, like you want to talk, Naruto mumbled he looked around and saw that people were looking at him strangely. He nodded and began to follow the stranger. In a deserted training ground. Okay, before we started our conversation, can you please get rid of this knife in my back? Naruto said. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that there, the stranger said innocently as he cancelled the jutsu. Naruto glared at him. Okay, let's start off by introducing ourselves, you go first, Whisker. The stranger said. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, the bird is named Crow, and this ball of sunshine is named Cloud. And if you don't start telling me how to get you to go to the afterlife, I going to find a priest to exorcise you, Naruto said, continuing to glare at him. Yeah, so my name is Nashi and I possess the Shinigami no Okurimono too, Nashi said. You have the Shinigami essence's seal in you too? Naruto asked. What? No. What actually happened to me was I was exposed to a strong concentration of the Shinigami's essences when I was in close approximate to him, and now I'm kind of stuck with it, Nashi responded. Yeah, that sound like something that the Shinigami would cause, Crow added. As for the reason why I haven't moved on, it is because of two reasons. The first, I need to pass on my jutsus and legacy to someone because I die before I could do that, and the second is that there's a princess that I have to save from an evil spirit that kidnapped her. About 100 years ago and has recently been reported to be sighted around here, anyway about the jutsu's eye. Wait a 100 years. Naruto interrupted. Yeah 100 year, anyway back to the jutsus. Nanashi said trying to change the subject. It been a 100 year and you still have not been able to rescue her, Naruto deadpanned. There were a lot of key items to collect, Nanashi said looking away. Liar. Naruto yelled. Mini-bosses. Naruto stared at him with a disbelief look on his face. I got lost. Naruto continued to stare. I hit a glitch. Will you tell me already? Okay. He truth is that I was busy peeking at every town, village and city I stop at during my quest, Nanashi admitted as Naruto face fault. Him being invisible and intangible to the world makes it great for peeking. Crow nodded his head in an understanding mood. Naked girl or fun girls, Cloud said jumping for joy. Arrow Sation, pervy spirit, Naruto muttered. Hi my name is Nanashi, Nanashi stated. Hi Nanashi, Crow and Cloud said together. I am a pervert and it been 25 minutes since I done something perverted, said Nanashi. This is not pervert anonymous so find help for your problem somewhere else, Naruto deadpanned. So back to our discussion the jutsus I developed for the Shinigami no Okurimono based on the aspect of the manipulating the targeted soul and follow the three basic street. YLE. The Nis no Genjutsu, false reality, affecting the mind the soul perceive. Funo Noroi, curse vessel, affecting the body the soul inhabits. Seishin o Kawasu Mano, spirit breaker, affecting the very soul itself. The boot to the head that you experience early today, Naruto growled remembering about the incident, was due to the Nis no Genjutsu style. From the connection I made with you I was able to alter your perception of reality forcing your mind to experience an illusion of my choice similar to Genjutsu, which in this case is a flying boot to the head. However unlike Genjutsu these Jess are not just false image that led the body to believe that it is just in pain but trick the mind to believe the body is actually being physical attack and harm causing actually physical damage to the body. The bruise there on your face is proof of that. Okay but what about the chakra knife that you throw at me? Not only did it not hurt me but I have no cut mark from it, Naruto observed. Had because I didn't want it to happen but if I did I could however it did serve a purpose to the jutsu also to calling it a chakra knife is a bit incorrect because I don't use chakra, Nanashi said. What do you mean you don't use chakra? Naruto asked. What I mean is that I can't use it because I'm dead so no living body no physical energy to mix with spiritual energy, so like you're frying. Cloud I replace physical energy with natural energy from the air and ground around me, though since your friend is a wind elemental it is easy for him to draw from the air than the earth, and use it to mix it with the spiritual energy to created spiritual essence to perform the jutsu but when you learn these jutsu you will use regular chakra. As for the purpose of the knife they serve as receiver to focuses on the intended target. As you know even when you are connected to a target soul you are still aware of the other souls and spirits around you so you're connected to them on some level. The illusion is not only seen or heard by the target but also by other around you so to prevent other from suffer unnecessary injury the chakra knife are used because when you're cast a jutsus you pour some of your soul into it. That why you emotional stated sometime affect the strength of jutsu. Therefore the essence of the jutsu is in sync with the essence in the knife that spread out all over the target when it hit them. So the jutsu know who to affected, Nanashi explained. Wow that cool, how about the other two styles? Naruto asked. Well the Funo Noroi is the power to manipulate the state of the body. The possibility of this include diminish the strength of your opponent while augmenting the strength your allies and transferring the damage you and your allies receive to your opponent. And finally the Seishino Kawasu Mano style, this one literally strike at a person will to fight affecting the emotional state of your opponents causing them to feel from everything to hopeless, fear to pure bliss, Nanashi finished. Awesome okay teach me, an excited Naruto begged. Okay holds your horse, we will start with the basic and work our way up, Nanashi said. Fine so what do we start with? Naruto asked. Well the logical but boring way to go about this is to start with chakra control mainly due to the fact that the large amount of chakra you possessed from having fox seal in you make it very difficult to gain control of it, Nanashi pondered. Naruto groaned at that, but I think we can do that after we do it the fun way first, Nanashi said with an evil smirk. Which is? A scared Naruto asked. Oh just an evaluation to see where you are at, by bombarding you with a whole lot of Nis no Genjutsu, Tobu no Budo no Jutsu, false reality, boot to the head technique to see how many of it you can dodge and how long you can last, Nanashi said with a evil grin. Yeah, kick the Naru game, Cloud cheered as Naruto tried to escape, death by footwear. Omake. Naruto training plans Crow and Cloud, since we're training Naruto-san in the way of the ninja, then we must come up with a creative way to torture him for our entertainment, Nanashi said. You know I right here, Naruto said. Yeah, that's a great idea, Crow said. New game for Naru-kun, Cloud said. Do you guys have selective hearing or something? Naruto deadpanned. First thing on the list is a daily booth to the head to start the day off. Nanashi started. Why am I not surprised here? Naruto sighed. Let tie him up and hang him from a tree, then beat him with a stick until he learn W to do the Nawanuke no Jutsu, rope escape technique, Crow added. Randomly attacks Naru-kun with sharp pointy things. Vital points are worth the 100 point, Cloud said innocently. Not you guy too, Naruto said with anime tears. Good I going to add a booth to the head for motivation, Nanashi added. What with your obsession with injuring my head with footwear, Naruto said in the corner of woe. And from the look of it, another booth to the head to treat any possible emo syndrome, Nanashi said. Original Jutsu list. Nis no Genjutsu. Tobu no Budo no Jutsu, false reality, boot to the head technique. Rank D. Description. A Shinigami no Okurimono, gift of the death god. Kekkei Genkei gag jutsu. Cause a boot to fly and hit the target's face. Used to mock, cause pain, motivation, treat M.O. syndrome of the target, but mostly used for laughs. Chapter 3 Getting school and getting stab are both painful. In Naruto's apartment, after an evening of being painfully bludgeoned by boots of death or hours, Naruto woke up the next morning bruised and sore as he entered the kitchen to be greeted by Nanashi, Crow, and Cloud. Good morning, champ. Hurry up and eat breakfast so that I can take you to school on my way to work, said Nanashi while sitting down and reading a newspaper. Naruto ni-chan, you better work hard when you are in school if you want to be as cool and amazing as your Oni-chan now, Crow lectured. Arf, bacon, Cloud barked. Isn't it a little early for all this craziness? Naruto deadpanned as he made some instant ramen for breakfast. Nope, all three of them said together. So what are all three of you really going to do today? Naruto asked. Well, while you are in class 1, we'll try to find heaven on earth, also known as the hidden Kunoichi hot spring, said Nanashi with a nosebleed. Then we will continue your training. What about trying to find that princess of your? Naruto asked. Oh, she waited for 100 years, a few days won't matter that much, Nanashi answered. She didn't wait for 100 years, Baka, Naruto muttered. I'm going to check on how my old clan is doing and then join you in class halfway through, Crow said. You're from a clan, what is it like? Naruto asked. It pretty much like any other clan, all the elders has a major stick up their ass, Crow said. And I'm going to class with Naru-kun and blow air behind people's ears for fun, Cloud added. At the academy, once again Naruto failed the exam given with question that no one in class could have answered, and teachers continued to sabotage or plain out ignored him. Naruto was eating his moldy old bread alone with Cloud when they met Crow again. So how was your day so far? Crow asked. No one tried to kill me, so okay so far, he stated. How about you? How was your day? Naruto asked. Fine. The elders still have a stick up their butt. What's up with your lunch? Crow inquired. It was the only few thing anyone is willing to sell me, Naruto stated. It seemed like we have to teach you how to do the Henge no Jutsu, transform technique, to fool people so you can buy better things, Crow pondered. Think that will help out a lot, Naruto said. No problem, we better head back to class and see what we need to fix for you in your training, Crow said. As they enter the building, people spotted Crow on Naruto's shoulder. Hey, you are not allowed to bring wild animal in here, said the teacher. It's not a wild animal, it's my ninja bird, Naruto responded. Yeah right, the teacher said back. It true, Hiba's family have ninja dogs, so it possible for me to have ninja bird, Naruto replied back. Fine, he responded angrily and muttered, stupid demon brat, under his breath. I bet it is lame and can't do anything at all, one of the students said. Do something, Naruto whispered to Crow. Crow went and picked up a pen and dropped it in front of a dark-haired girl with white eyes with a tint of lavender. When Naruto looked at her, she blushed for reason he couldn't understand. "See, I am an awesome bird trainer," Naruto bragged. After class was over, all of his classmates were being picked up by their family members. Naruto, Crow and Cloud spotted Nanashi motioning them to follow him. After walking for a few minutes they ended up near the edge of a large forest. "So how was your day?" Naruto asked. "I found the Holy Land, the hidden Kunoichi hot spring is truly heaven on earth. I feel fulfilled in my afterlife and now I can move on to the great beyond with no regret," said Nanashi with anime tears flowing from his eyes and a spotlight shining on him as an angel version of him left his body as it ascending to heaven even though he already dead and therefore a spirit himself. "Is he using Nis no Genjutsu on us?" Naruto asked with a sweat drop. "I don't know, but it is better to not to ask," Crow responded. "So what useful thing have they been teaching the kid?" Nanashi asked. "Nothing, the thing they taught is either useless or going to get him killed in the field," Crow said, causing Naruto look downcast at that. "Don't look so down, we will beat everything we know into you and make you a great ninja even if it kills you," Nanashi said. "Something tell me that you mean that in a literally sense," Naruto deadpanned. "Anyways, let's go get you some tool of the trade and maybe find a weapon for you to master," Nanashi said. "How? No one would sell me anything in this village unless it is in bad condition, and if they do it is highly overpriced and I'm really short on money because I also have pay for the other overpriced necessity," Naruto said bitterly. "That why I came up with a great idea of going into the forest of death to scavenge some stuff that past ninja lost or no longer have any use for, but my advice for you is to ignore any dead body you see," Nanashi said in an excited tone. "How is going into a big scary forest with death in it name a good idea? It is kind of, oh I don't know, suicidal," Naruto said, a little bit uneasy about the grinning Nanashi. "But that what being ninja is all about, doing stupid stuff that can get you killed," said a cheerful Nanashi, which caused Naruto stare at him. "You don't have to worry, I can still use jutsu to handle anything that come our way." Nashi sighed. "Beside, we are having you train with the Shinigami no Okurimono by using it to not only be aware of any danger that nearby but also talk your way out fr. Own being eaten by any carnivore's animal you will encounter, because the Shinigami no Okurimono allow you to communicate with animal on a spiritual level. What if they want to eat me regardless of what I said?" Naruto asked. "Well, you can always run away. Anyway, let head out," Nanashi said. "I going to die and he going to kill me," Naruto muttered over and over again as they head into the forest. In the forest of death. After wandering around the forest, Naruto collected a decent set of kunai, shuriken, ninja wire and a quality ninja pouch. Matey, we got some booty to dig up," a hyperactive Cloud said. "Look like we got you some decent set of ninja tools but can't seem to find a weapon you can specialize in," Nanashi commented. "Yeah, I know. Hey Arosation, I was wonder about something," Naruto said. You give me a nickname. I like it, it really reflect me perfectly, I'm so proud," said Nanashi. "Of course you are, you stupid perverted ghost," Naruto muttered. "Anyway, what do you have on your mind?" Nanashi asked. "Well, we kind of deep in the forest and I was wonder if you know how to get back when we done here," Naruto asked. Nanashi just stared at Naruto and then look away, ignoring the question. "We're lost, aren't we?" Naruto deadpanned. "We can't leave until we find you a weapon, Naruto-kun," Nanashi said, ignoring Naruto's question. "Don't worry Naruto-kun, I can fly above the tree to see where we have to go in order to get back," Crow reassured Naruto. "So you guys are looking for a weapon for the little one there? If that's true then I know where one is," said a new voice. They turned around and saw a small human shape being made out of wood, wearing a flower hat with branch-like antlers sticking out of its head, moss and leaf cover clothing, and it was holding a large leaf like it was an umbrella. "Hi, I'm Naruto and this is Crow, Cloud and Nanashi, but he a pervert so I just called him Arosation, and proud of it," Nanashi shouted. "So who are you?" Naruto asked. "My name is Tree and I am one of the many spirit that affiliate itself with plant life that tends to inhabit the forest, and as I was saying, if you were looking for a weapon I know where one at over, if you can wield it or not is up to you," Tree said. "Really? So will you show us where it is?" Nanashi asked. "Yes, if you help me with my task," Tree said. What kind of task? Naruto asked. Man, this feel like an RPG doing mini quest to get a rare items. Planting stuff. We plant spirits like places with a lot of vegetation, so doing such task helps us a lot, Tree said. Well, at least I don't have to slay a dragon. Naruto said. Instead of doing that, why don't you just become one of Naruto-kun familiar? Then you can have him do thing for you when he not busy like he does for me, Cloud said. Can I really do that? Tree asked. Yeah, I'm Naruto-kun familiar and he play game with me because he promised to play with me when he can, Cloud said. I thought it was because you won't leave me alone, Naruto deadpanned. Same thing, Cloud innocently replied. Okay, I don't mind. From now on I am your familiar and I will assist you in any way that I can, Tree said. Okay, I fine with that, Naruto replied. Yeah, a new friend to play with, Cloud cheered. Follow me and I will show where the weapon is at, Tree said as he began to walk away. After about an hour of walking they came to a clearing in the forest. In the middle of it there was a staff as black as night sky stick out of it. There it is. It was forges out of a dark ore that fall from the heaven and ashes from a very ancient and mystical tree, so know how much damage it receives it will repair itself back to its original form. Legend said it once belonged to a great warrior that was able to defeat his enemies even after he been long dead. All there is left to do is place your hand on it and be judged, Tree said. Yep, definitely feel like an RPG, Naruto said as he walked up to it and placed his hand on it, then everything went black. You seek to wield me, but in order for that to happen I must see into your heart to see if you are worthy to wield me, said a female voice. He looks around for the source of tea. He voiced but found nothing and could only see him, the staff and the blackness around him. You bear a great burden and face a lot hated and loneliness, yet you don't let it taint your heart but deal it head on. You seek strength for recognition. That is not a bad reason, however it is not the best reason either, but you still young and still have a lot of time to live and grow. Stubborn, not very bright, ramen obsessive. Hey, don't diss the ramen, Naruto exclaimed. But possess a strong will and a pure heart, well as pure as it can be in a world like this. For these reason I deem you worth to wield me, but if you become my master I ask only one thing from you, and that is to always hold on to the strength and will that you have in your heart that you currently have right now, the voice finished off. Okay, Naruto said. The blackness seemed to fade and Naruto returned to where he was with the staff in hand, but at the head of the staff there was a light blue blade made of chakra sticking out of it now. Then a seal appeared on Naruto's right hand and his new scythe disappeared into it. If you ever need to wield me, called me by the name you earn me, Mugen no Sora, endless sky, for the potentia. You possess is as endless as the sky above you, beside all the hero do it when they take out their kick-ass weapon, the voice told him. A scythe, not a bad choice, kind of symbolic considering why. Oh, you were an agent of death and it looked badass, Nashi said. So the soul of that scythe decided to choose you to be its master, right? Tree asked. Yeah, I also made a promise with her when she chooses me and hopefully I won't disappoint her in the end, Naruto said. So how does she rate on a scale of hotness? Nashi asked with a lecherous grin. Naruto-kun and Scythe-chan, sitting in a tree kissing, Cloud singed. Cloud-kun, it is not like that an arrow-sation, keep your perverted thought to yourself, beside I haven't seen her, only heard her voice, Naruto said. You haven't seen me yet, Mugen no Sora whispered. Ah, but you're my student and as my student I am supposed to pass everything that I know on to you, including my perverted ways. Nashi pouted. Not happening, Naruto responded. Hey guy, it is kind of getting dark, so I think now will be a good time to head back, Crow said, trying to stop their arguments. Yeah, the kid needs his sleep for tomorrow since it is weekend and we got all day to torture him, said Nashi. You enjoy my pain too much, you sadist, Naruto grumbled as they headed back. The next day at a random training ground, Nashi had Naruto started working on his chakra control by doing the leaf concentration exercises. However, due to Naruto's short attention span it wasn't going well until Nashi literally beat it into him to the point he does it naturally. Next he began on the tree climbing exercises, and after a few minutes where Naruto only got a foot or two off the ground, Nashi called for his attention. Now that you gotten better on using your chakra, well, somewhat better than before, I can now tell you what I plan for your training, Nashi said. You mean that causing me unnecessary pain was not a part of your plan, Naruto deadpanned. Know that part of the fun that come with training you. Anyway, from the look of it, it seemed that you will most likely never be able to do a normal Bunshin no Jutsu clone technique, Nanashi said. What? Naruto shouted. I know you need to learn that to pass to be a genin, that why we going to replace it with the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu shadow clone technique, and I chose that technique for a reason. First off, usually Kage Bunshin shadow clone technique is dangerous to learn due to how much chakra need to make one, but because of your large chakra reserve you can make a low T with no problem, but we will start off small. Secondly, because you will gain the memory of the clone when it dispels, it will be useful for training. Lastly, it will also help make your reserve grow even more, making you a chakra monster, and on the plus side there will be more of you to torture. Nanashi stated. So I can learn a lot of thing faster, said Naruto, ignoring the promise of torture. Yeah, but you still have to work hard. Now once you are able to make Kage Bunshin shadow clone technique, I want you to make up to 9 clones to train with me. I shall up the number as time goes on. ONC. We get up to 9 clone. I want 2 of them to train with me to master the Shinigami no Okurimono, gift of the death god Kekkei Genkai, and the jutsu that are based around it. Another 2 to train in basic ninja skill with Crow-san. Another 2 to learn some wind jutsu with Cloud-kun, and 2 to learn some earth and water jutsu from Tree-kun, because you can't rely on one element only. As for the last clone, he will continue chakra control exercises while you will train your body to build up your strength and speed. With the Kage Bunshin shadow clone technique, you can train all day while sending a clone to attend the academy. Nanashi said. Work for me, Naruto stated. Good, let get this done so we can continue your personal hell, Nanashi said with a smirk. After an hour of trying in Nan, Ashi using the Nis no Genjutsu, causing boots, chibi penguin and all sort of strange object to strike Naruto for motivation, he was finally able to master the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu shadow clone technique. Omake. Gardening with Tree-kun. In the forest of death. Because Naruto had some free time and with nothing to do, we find him, with Crow, Cloud and Tree in the forest of death planting some exotic plants. Nanashi was off peeking at the hot spring once again. Thank for doing this task for me, Naruto-sama, Tree said. Yeah, and with you coming with us it is way safer coming here than before, Naruto said. Well, since my kind are like the guardian of the forest creature tends respect us and leave those with us alone, it was kind of lucky you didn't die before, Tree stated. I know, so what kind of plant are we planting here? Naruto asked. Just one of the many man-eating plants that are found within the forest of death, Tree responded nonchalant. I know you spirits don't have to worry about self-preservation. However, I do, and growing something that can end up eating me doesn't seem to agree with my survival instinct, Naruto said. Everything has a purpose in this world, Naruto-sama. It just turned out that this plant purpose is to consume mankind, Tree calmly replied. I'm not questioning its existence, I'm questioning my well-being. Here, Naruto deadpanned. Suddenly a strange, blue teardrop-shaped creature appeared right in front of them. What the hell is that? Naruto exclaimed, pointing at the creature. It is a level 5 slime. Kill it and earn some gold, Tree stated. Slime is from Dragon Quest, so I don't own it. Naruto stared at Tree and then asked, is that thing made out of gold? No, Tree replied. Then how will killing it get me gold? It doesn't make sense. This is not an RPG, Naruto stated. Since when does the ninja world make sense? They give kids as old as 12 the license to kill, Tree stated. And give them nice pointy sharp object to play with, Crow added. Hell, they even let you live by yourself without any kind of adult supervision, Tree said. Okay, I get the point, I will go and kill it, beside I could use the money, Naruto sighed. Go Naru-kun used infer most on it. Cloud cheered. Chapter 4 Heartbreak, a worth 1,000 songs but not a record deal. Different language. On the way to the academy. A 10-year-old Naruto, along with Cloud, Tree, Crow and Nanashi were walking to the academy. Nanashi, who still hadn't broken the habit, was only there to chat with them until they reached the academy. Then, he would head out to do something perverted again. Naruto had been trained by his 4 friends, teachers for years, to the point that his skills right now could earn him the rank genin if he wanted. Now that you got the basics down, we will move on to more advanced stuff. Although we will still work on the basics from time to time so you won't forget them, Nanashi said. That is a sound plan. I was actually going to teach you some sealing techniques, said Crow. You're a seal master? Naruto asked. Yes. Crow replied. You are required to learn it if you become a Reaper working under Shinigami-sama, and we are considered the best at it. Hopefully you learn enough that you can create a medium through which cloud and tree can interact in the physical world. Yahoo! More wind attacks for Naru-kun and flying. Cloud cheers. Flying. Naruto asked. Magic and pixie dust. Believe in them and you can soar toward the sky. Naru-kun, Cloud sings. Note to self. Never give Cloud-kun sugar if he ever gains the ability to eat food, Naruto said with a sweat drop. From me, you will learn more earth and water techniques. Also, I will teach you some exercises to draw water from the environment and atmosphere, plus how to shape the G. Round around to gain some field advantage, Naruto-sama, Tree added. We started on shape transformation starting from 1 dimension up to 3 dimensions shape to get you to make those chakra knives. And will come in handy to shape the blade on the Mugen no Sora so that you not only limited to scythe and staff mode. Nanashi said. Also speaking of Mugen no Sora, I was planning to teach you 2 different taijutsu styles. One best for close combat and the other for utilizing the Mugen no Sora, which I will teach you first so you can get you some practice with it and to get you used to using that weapon. Yeah, we need to hang out more Naruto-kun, said Mugen in Naruto's head. All these extra skills will be good for you if your enemies ever discover your Kekkei Genkei's weakness. Always have a backup plan, Nanashi told him. Huh, the Shinigami no Okurimono have weaknesses? Naruto asked. Yes, everything has its own limitation and nothing is absolute, though I thought by now you had figure. One of them out from all the time you saw me use the Shinigami no Okurimono. The first weakness is due to the chakra knife or whatever you use as a receiver is limited by how long they can stay on the target. So you can only affect the target until you cancel the receiver or until the essence that your chakra speared inside your opponent is filtered out. The other weakness is the strength of your opponent's will compared to yours. If your opponent's will is stronger, they can break the effect of the Shinigami no Okurimono. However, you are really stubborn. I doubt that you will have to worry about it much, Nanashi explained. So as long as I never give up and never let my opponent break my will, they can't overcome the Shinigami no Okurimono. Naruto asked. Yes, now about your graduation plan. Not only do I want you to graduate around the same time as everyone in your age group, but to also be the dead last or at least pass with an average grade instead of Rookie of the Year or anywhere near the top of the class. You should have Iruka as your teacher, who is the first teacher to treat you fair and equal, said Nanashi. You want me to do this for a reason, right? Naruto inquired. Yes. Being the dead last when are you truly the Rookie of the Year is more advantageous because it will cause others to underestimate you, and when you reveal your true skills it will be too late for them. ND cost them their victory, Nanashi explained. So the title of Rookie of the Year is stupid because it shows your true strength to everyone and goes against what being a ninja is all about, which is deception, Naruto said. Yep, you really are learning. Anyway, I got naked ladies to look at, so off to school with you guys or else I send the flying monkey after you like I did for the teacher that came before Iruka, Nanashi threatened. Huh, I thought that we drugged him, dressed him in drag and sent him to one of those special bars where he got traumatized enough that he ended up in a long-term therapy program forcing him to quit his job just because he trying to kill me, Naruto mused. Haha, his girly scream and face of terror and humiliation will be forever carved in my memory, said Kurama in Naruto mind. Seriously Kurama, you have problems, but as long as those 101 flavored bunnies and pranks keep the village from being destroyed, I really don't care, Naruto sighed. Ninja have therapists? Cloud asked. I think they have psych evaluators to make sure most ninja don't go kamikaze on missions, Tree responded. You know, we kind of got that drug a bit too easily, though it was supposed to be for poison techniques. Which is important for ninja, but still drug control is a bit bad around here, Crow added. If we did that to him, then who did I send that flying monkey to? Nashi pondered. With the identity of the flying monkey victim on his mind, Nanashi went to seek nude women while the rest headed toward class. In the classroom, when Naruto entered the classroom he saw the occurrence of fangirls drooling over the emo king known as Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, please go out with me, screamed all his fangirls at once. No, said Sasuke as he turned away and began to brood. All his fangirls looked downcast while thinking, Sasuke-kun is so cool. One of these downcast fangirls was Naruto's crush Sakura Haruno, and in an attempt to gain her friendship he tried to cheer her up. Hey Sakura-chan, don't look so down. Sasuke-tem is an idiot for not seeing what a great girl you were and taking you out on a date, Naruto said. In an alternative universe where Sakura Haruno was not a blind obsessed fangirl. She saw the kindness in Naruto's word and befriended him. However, in this universe that was not the case, as she felt that Naruto had insulted her precious Sasuke-kun. And she turned her frustration of being rejected on him. Shut up Naruto baka. You are so annoying. And don't you dare insult Sasuke-kun. He is handsome, cool, talented, and a Uchiha, the greatest clan in Konoha. While you are a dead last useless loser orphan nobody and should do what all the villagers said you should do. Be useful and go lay down in a hole somewhere and just die. Do me one favor, and don't ever bug me again, she growled. While some of his classmates thought that was cruel and others were indifferent, most of Sasuke's fangirls showed their support in hope of getting Sasuke's attention, which he ignored again. However, for Naruto, the thought of starting a friendship with Sakura, who he believed to understand his loneliness because he thought she felt same loneliness by being bullied by the other student, ended there, as his heart began to break. Okay Haruno-san. I will leave you alone and shall never bug you again, Naruto said, looking at her with fake smile but eyes devoid of all emotion. Not that she never notices, and went to sat down somewhere away from her. For the rest of the class Naruto was quiet and never spoke a word. That went on for days, causing Iruka and his friends to worry. But when they asked if he was okay, he always responded that he was in an emotionless tone and went back to being silent. During his training session with Nashi, Crow, Cloud, and Tree, he would work quietly and endless on the task. Nashi finally had enough and decided to do something. Okay, what's wrong with you, kid? Nashi asked. Nothing. So, what am I going to do for my training? Naruto responded. For 2 weeks you will do no training but try to find a hobby to occupy your time, Nashi sighed. I don't need a hobby. What I need is to train and learn jutsu to become a ninja, Naruto responded emotionlessly. I'm your teacher and you will do as I say, Nashi told him. Naruto glared at him and walked away. When he was gone, Nashi asked the others about Naruto's behavior. Well, he's been like that since that Sakura girl dumped him, Crow said. We tried to cheer him up and told him there are other fish in the sea, but it didn't work, said Tree. Yeah, Shaw, RKS and whales too, said Cloud, trying to be helpful, but failing. So, do you think he is going emo again? Crow asked. No, this is something different. He's becoming an emotionless machine, a robot Naruto. There is something more going on here. I will go talk to him and downgrade him into a human again, said Nashi as he got up to look for Naruto. Hokage Monument. After meeting with everyone, Naruto walked to the top of the Hokage Monument to clear his head. There he sat and entered his mindscape and stared at the sky in his mind. Hey kid, so you got dumped. Get over it, said Kurama. I didn't get dumped, because we weren't dating. Are you trying to cheer me up? Naruto asked. Well, your depressed self is more annoying than your normal self, Kurama stated. Kurama is right, you really need to get over whatever is bugging you, and talking about it will help, so tell Kurama ni-san, big brother, and Mugen no Sora ne-san, big sister, all about it, said Mugen no Sora, who appeared to be a blue-haired, blue-eyed teenage girl in a black kimono with white flower decorations. Ni-san? Kurama asked, staring at Mugen no Sora. Would you prefer Okazen, mother? Mugen responded. Ni-san it is, Kurama quickly said. You really should talk about what's upsetting you, said Nashi, appearing in his mind. How did you enter my mind? Naruto asked. A trick I learned while experimenting with the Nis no Genjutsu style or magic. Whichever one you prefer. Anyway, are you that upset that you got dumped, or is there more to it than that? Asked Nashi. I'm not upset about the fact that she dumped me. Because we weren't dating, so therefore she didn't dump me. It's what she said to me that is upsetting me. She practically told me to do everyone a favor and die, telling me to die or go awa. Why, like the villagers do when they call me monster or demon and stare at me eyes full of hate or fear like they have all my life because they think I'm the fox. I hate it and grow tired of it. I'm tired of being angry, tired of being alone, and mostly tired of not having any friends, family or anyone that cares about me. Sure, I have you, Crow, Cloud and Tree, but none of you are alive or human, no offense, and Gigi never has time for me. It hurts so much that I just don't want to feel anything, Naruto said with tears falling down his face. Those idiot villagers. If I could, I would grind our bones for thinking I'm a weak and pathetic human, Kurama growled. This is not about you, you arrogant idiot, Mugen sighed. Naruto, do you know why I act as crazy as I do? Nanashi asked him. Becca, you find it entertaining to mess with my mind, Naruto deadpanned. Yes, but also because I couldn't do it all the time when I was alive. When I was alive, I always acted the way I thought my family wanted me to. How I thought my friends want me to. However, when I was with my Hime princess, I never acted as anything I was not. I always was my true crazy flawed pervert self around her and she never truly hated me for it. Though from time to time I tended to piss her off enough to beat me to bloody pulp, which I don't regret, but I do believe she enjoyed it a little too much, that crazy saw. Dist, Nanashi said, shivering at the memory of such beating. Naruto's sweat dropped at him talking about his past. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, right, the thing is that after 100+ some years of being dead, I found out that I was the most happy when I was with her, and I realized how stupid I was wasting my life pretending to be someone I was not and worrying about what others though. T of me when there's someone who was happy with me the way I am, and I was felt the same way too. What I'm trying to tell you is life is way too short to waste dwelling on bad things in your life. Sure, there will be times when you are sad or angry. When that happens you can cry or go trash a training ground, then do something incredibly stupid or fun like I always do, so those negative emotions don't consume you and make you emotionally damaged, or kami forbid, emo. Really, emos don't amount to anything, Naruto-kun, Nanashi said, waving his index finger. Okay, I get it that you are prejudiced against emos. I promise that I won't dress up in black with black eyeliner and lipstick, sheesh, Naruto said. Good, that is the most important thing I can ever teach you. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. The thing is that pain is a part of life, especially the life of a ninja. However, you shouldn't ignore or forget about it, but learn to live with it because it is a part of who you are, and how you handle it makes you who you are. Whatever you do, don't keep your heart closed, because then you might miss that someone who can drown all your sorrows with an endless amount of happiness, Nanashi said, ruffling Naruto's hair. So the reason you told me to find a hobby was to give me time to deal with what I'm going though? Naruto asked while fixing his hair. Yes, part of it is so you have time to heal. But I also want you to find things you might like to do. You may choose to be a ninja, but you can't always be a ninja 24/7. You need time to relax and be a normal person. So, you're allowed to be all sad and depressed for a few days, but by the end of the 2 weeks when we go back to training, I want you to have a fun hobby you like to do and be back to your crazy old self, okay? Nanashi asked. Nope, I won't go back to my old crazy self. Oh no, I will be crazier than before. Like you said, life is too short to worry about what others think, and besides, after the way the villagers treated me, it might be fun to get back at them by messing with their heads, Naruto said with a grin. Ah, there is my student that I love and know, said Nashi with a smirk. Well, it seems he will be okay, said Mugen. The next day on the way to the academy. Hey Arrow-sation, I've been thinking of what you said about finding a hobby, and I came up with 2 but could decide between them. So I'm going to do them both, cooking and sewing. I chose cooking because as much as I like ramen, I guess I'm going to have to eat more than that, and as for sewing, I kind of don't like to walk around with so many holes on my clothes. I've also been thinking of what Crow said about having mediums for Cloud and Tree. So I was thinking of making dolls, or I mean action figures for them to possess. So let's some cooking and sewing books before we head to school, Naruto said. Naruto wants to study with books, it the apocalypse. Ah! Nanashi screamed. Shut up. Naruto stared at him. Sorry. Anyway, that's okay. You don't have to have only one hobby. You can have as many as you want. If you like, I can teach you some break dancing moves that you can integrate into your taijutsu, Nashi said. Huh, I thought you said we're not doing any training for 2 weeks. Naruto asked. We're not, but that does not mean that the things we learn outside of ninja training can't be used when we are being ninja, and the same can be said about the thing we learn inside of ninja training. Those skills are not limited to ninja tasks only. The first taijutsu style follows the same principle, which is, what skills you learn in life can be used in your fighting style, but we'll go more in depth when we come to it, Nashi said. Okay, I could try it to see if it's fun or not. Hey, can you guys also teach me something new? Naruto asked. I'm good at music, Cloud said. And I can make some music instruments when you need some and give you gardening tips since you are helping me fill the world with plants, Tree added. I was a prankster when I was alive, so I can teach you my prankster art, like different ways to make stink bombs, Crow said. Yeah, those sound fun, especially Crow's idea. I'm going to try them all, Naruto said. Alright, see you guys after school while I go do my hobby of studying the female body, Nashi said as he separated from them. That's not a hobby, it's as a crime, muttered Naruto. At the academy, Naruto was sitting down in his seat reading a cookbook he purchased and looking through it to see what food looked good to make when he saw other people in the classroom staring at him. What? Naruto asked everyone. Naruto, is that you? Iruka asked. Yes, answered a confused Naruto. And you were reading a book of your own free will? Iruka asked again. Yes, answered a still confused Naruto. Oh my Kami, it is the apocalypse, screamed Iruka. Naruto's sweat dropped as everyone began to whisper. I think you broke him with what you said to him last time, Sakura, Ino said as Sakura nodded in agreement. Oh come on, it's not that big of a deal, Naruto groaned. Don't worry Naruto, everything will be alright, Anbu, Iruka said. What wrong? The two masked Anbu replied as they showed up. It's Naruto, he reading a book, said Iruka. It's the apocalypse, both Anbu said. Seriously, Naruto groaned. Don't worry Uzumaki-san, we will take you to the Hokage and he will figure out what's wrong, said one of the Anbu. Fine, but you gotta carry me, I don't feel like running all the way there. I just got to class, said Naruto. You want us to carry you like a little child? The Anbu asked with a sweat drop. Yes please, Naruto replied. The Anbu picked up Naruto and headed toward the Hokage tower. What seems to be the problem here? The third asked. Uzumaki-san was reading a book in class, one of Anbu replied. It is the apocalypse, said a paled Hokage. You too, Ojiazan, Naruto sighed. Naruto, are you okay? Asked a concerned Hokage. Yes, I was reading this book because I wanted to learn how to cook. Now since I was taken out of class to meet you, and if you don't have anything else to talk to me about, I think I'll skip class for the rest of the day, Naruto said. Okay, it seemed like you are well enough and Iruka won't expect you back in class today anyway, said the Hokage. Great, now, Anbu carry me outside, Naruto asked with puppy dog eyes. He just couldn't help it. Piggyback riding Anbu was just so fun. Everyone's sweat dropped at that. Then one of the Anbu carried him out, and so began Naruto's day of hobby exploring. In the forest of death. Why, oh you know, coming here for so long and making friends with the forest Kritzer made this place a nice place to be. Anyway, since class got cut short for me, let's start with my music lesson, Cloud, Naruto said. Hee hee, it was funny how you freaked everyone by pretending to read a book, said Kurama in his mind. I wasn't pretending, Naruto replied. It is the apocalypse, Kurama said in fright. Oh, don't you start too, said Naruto. So what instrument do you want to learn to play? Flute, violin, guitar, drum, or I can you help you with your vocals if you want to learn how to sing, said Cloud excitedly. You know what, I will just use Kage Bunshin no Jutsu to learn it all and start a one-man band if this ninja thing doesn't work out, and I can also start on my other hobbies too, said Naruto as he make clones and Tree made his instrument. Here are the first instruments. I used some plant substance to substitute for the string because we don't have the real thing, and I used some earth jutsu to pay the ore for some of the drum part, said Tree. Okay, me and some of my clones will stay a practice while one will follow you to look for place to start a garden and another will have Crow teach him some pranks, said Naruto. A few hours later. So how was my first try? Naruto asked. Okay, but you still need a lot more practice to be able to perform for others, said Cloud. Your friend is right, though you're not bad for a beginner, said a female voice. Naruto turned around and saw a little girl with brown hair and amber eyes. Hi, you're dead right. Naruto asked. Naru-kun has no tact, he is a tactless master, Cloud said happily. That he is, and you right, I am a ghost. My name is Yuta and I heard from others that you can help me move on to the afterlife, said Yuta. So what is it that is keeping you bound here? Naruto asked. Well, when I was alive I always had to stay inside and never got out of my bed because of my illness, and it was that illness that took my life, but I always licked Ed to sing and everyone told me how beautiful my voice was. However, due to my illness I never fulfilled my dream of being a performer, Yuta said. So if you perform for a concert of some sort you can more on, said Naruto. Yes, she replied. Okay, once I get better at playing these instruments, then I will set up a concert for you, said Naruto with a smile. Thank you, I will practice too until then, she said as she left. Elsewhere in the Forest of Death, Naruto's clone and tree were in a large meadow surrounded by a wall of trees except one spot where the trees bend to make a small opening for them to go through. This place is amazing. Not only can we have garden here, but it can be a secret base to hang out in, Naruto's clone said. Yes, this place is ideal for that. This will be where one of our gardens will be at. Anyway, have you decided what to plant yet, Naruto? Sama asked Tree. Well, a lot of different fruits and vegetables to eat would be good, the clone said to him. That's good, and we might add some more fruits tree around here. Also you should plant some herbs which help to make medicines or poisons, Tree added. That's a good idea, you should head back now and I will show the original this place, said the clone as he is dispelled himself. With another clone and Crow. I will give the original some books on sealing and tips that will be useful for pranks, but until Han let me tell you about stink bombs, said Crow. What is there to tell? It explodes and makes everything smelly, said Naruto's clone. Ah, that where you wrong. There is more to it than that. You have to consider many factors, like the size of the explosion, stink duration, and level of stink, also how adding certain substances will affect it, said Crow. Wow, teach me, said the clone. Okay, said Crow as he began the lecture. With Nanashi. So the kid freaked out his classmates and teacher by reading a book and got a half-day huh. I'm so proud, said Nanashi, smiling with anime tears. Suddenly he felt a familiar malevolent force emitting from the Forest of Death. So he is here now and is near the kid. I have to get there fast, he said as he raced to the forest. Back in the Forest of Death with Naruto. Crow and Tree were coming back to meet up with Naruto and Cloud as they were still practicing. Hey guys, let's take a break and go find Arrow Station so I can get something to eat, said Naruto. As they were walking away, a malevolent force appeared next to them. My, what lovely souls we have here, said an ogre-like being with horns and sharp teeth. Behind him were a bunch of people chained up with empty eyes. Who or what the hell are you, creep? Naruto asked. He's Ugly and he's got no alibi, Cloud said. A lost sideshow attraction, Crow pondered. A plastic surgery that went bad, Tree added. Do you dare insult me? Growled the ogre-like being. Yes, they all answered. I was going to enslave all of you, but now I am going to eat you all. He said as he launched at them only to be stopped by Nanashi's katana. Hey guys, looks like I made it in time. Anyway, stay back and let me handle this, Nanashi said. You know this guy? Naruto asked. Yes, he is Lord Oni, the jerk that killed me and kidnapped my princess, Hikari Haim, the guy I've been searching for 100 years to defeat in order to get her back, Nanashi said. Lord Oni, what a lame name, Naruto said. I know, right, anyway, this is my fight, so let me handle this, Nanashi said. You insolent fool, I will kill you, said Lord Oni. I don't think so. Seishino Kawasu Mono Kawareta Chen, Spi. Rit breaker broken chain, Nanashi said as the chain that bound the people behind him broke. Afterward, Lord Oni began to weaken and turn human-like. No, what have you done? My souls, Lord Oni cried. Now to end this, Shinigami no Jodojo, invitation of the Grim Reaper, Nanashi said as gate formed and a Grim Reaper appeared. Hey, Crow, how are you? Your girl misses you, said the Reaper. I'm fine, Bob, been looking after this kid. Anyway, tell her I miss her and said hi for me, said Crow. Okay, well I got to go back to dragging souls to the afterlife, Bob said as he dragged Lord Oni's soul to hell. That was anticlimactic. Why couldn't you take him down the first time? Naruto asked. Well, he kind of killed us by accidentally by setting off the bombs he tried to threaten us with, and once we were dead he enslaved Hikari Heim and gained power from her, which is the only thing he's good at. Then after that, we only met 3 times. The first he ranted on and on about his evil plan until my brain shut down, and once I got it to start again he ran away. The second time he just ran away when I pulled out my kick-ass katana, and lastly now when I finally defeated him, said Nanashi. That sucks, was Naruto's response. I know, Hikari Heim, I finally free you and we can be together forever, said Nanashi as he ran toward a beautiful woman with white hair and sliver-eyed in a blue dress. Nanashi, I miss you so much, said Hikari as she hugged him, then began to beat the afterlife out of him. What took you so long? It's been over 100 years, you idiot, Hikari said with fury as she continued to beat him. Sorry, there were quest items to collect and mini-bosses to defeat, Nanashi pleaded. Don't you lie to me, she said as he got bloodied even though he was a ghost. Okay, I'm Nanashi and I am, Nanashi began but got cut off with a punch to the face. Don't start the pervert anonymous thing again. Go find help somewhere else, but I am glad to see you again, she sighed as she stopped beating him to a bloody mess. Wow, this has more action than the fight with Lord Oni, Naruto said. Hi, who are you? She asked. I am Naruto Uzumaki, that perverted idiot's apprentice, and these are my friends Crow, Cloud and Tree. Nice to meet you, Naruto replied. Hi, my name is Hikari. Did the pervert corrupt you yet? She asked. No, Naruto replied. Good, I will keep it that way, Hikari said. What? But he's my student and I have to teach him my ways, Nanashi replied weakly, from the ground. No you won't, if you don't want the pain, that is, Hikira said back to him. I'll be good, Nanashi said. After 2 weeks of training-free days, it was back to training as we see the gang hanging around a row of fences with a paintbrush and paint can. So, we're finally back to training, Naruto-kun. Now, I will teach you the fighting style of the Shaolin monks. I will teach you Shaolin Kung Fu, said Nanashi. I doubt you know anything about monkhood considering how perverted you are, Naruto deadpanned. Yes, I didn't know much about Shaolin Kung Fu when I was alive. Until I was trained by a friend who was a monk. I was also trained by a dead Shaolin monk, and from what I learned they fight with staffs really well, so this will help you wield the Mugen no Sora. Anyway, let's start your training by painting all of these fences, said Nanashi. How will painting fences help me learn Shaolin Kung Fu? Naruto asked. Remember when I told you that the things you learn in ninja training can be used to do things outside of your ninja life and vice versa? Nanashi asked and Naruto nodded yes. Well, Kung Fu applies to it too. I want you to not just paint the fence, but do it a certain way. When you are painting the fence, I want you stand a certain way, hold the paint in a certain way and move the paintbrush a certain way. The way you stand and hold the can will help with your form, and paint movement will help with the way you strike your opponent. I want you to do it until you get in that stance and do your movement by instinct. Using what you do in your everyday life, then using it in your fighting style will make that form come easily to you, Nanashi said. Okay, like this, Naruto asked as he got into the stance Nanashi showed him and began to paint the way he showed him too. Yes, Daniel-san listens to Mr. Miyagi and you will go far. Now Mr. Miyagi will have some fun while you paint as many fences you can for today, said Nanashi. Oh no you don't. You stay here or take me to places that I want to see and not go off peeking, Hikari said. Fine, sheesh. Anyway Naruto, fence painting is not the only way we train. I will find other methods and once you get them down you can spar to see how well you've learned them, Nanashi said. Unknown to them, Anbu was watching him, who was worried that his was a prank and reported it to the Hokage. Hokage-sama, Naruto is painting some fences, the Anbu told the Hokage. What? Naruto is it graffiti? The Hokage asked. Well, actually no. He's just painting them for reason we don't know. We think it is some sort of prank, Hokage-sama, said the Anbu. The Hokage pulled out his handy-dandy crystal ball to see what Naruto was doing and saw. Just as the Anbu said, Naruto coating an old flaking fence with a new coat of paint. This is troublesome indeed, said the Hokage. Just then Mighty Guy burst in the room. Yosh, I completed the mission you assigned me, Guy said. Then he saw what the Anbu and Hokage were looking at and saw Naruto paint the fence. What's a youthful kid doing using one of stances of the ancient Shaolin warrior monks, Guy said. Stance? The Hokage asked. Yosh, the way he is standing and moving his arm can only be that of the Shaolin Kung Fu style, though not many know it, so whoever teaching him knows it well, Guy said. Thank you Guy for giving us insight on this, the Hokage said. This strange behavior of Naruto was not the only Naruto-related incident that was brought to the Hokage that day, however. The next incident. Hokage-sama, Naruto is dancing out in the street, said the Anbu. And the problem is? The Hokage asked. Well, I thought I should report it. Also, if I might say, he is quite good, said the Anbu. Thank for your report, but I don't think it is anything to worry about, the Hokage said. Then there was Hokage-sama, Naruto is staging a performance in the city center, said the Anbu. I don't see the problem here, the Hokage said. No problem here, it just I thought you might want to see it. His singing is very good, the Anbu said. After that, Hokage-sama, Naruto, the Anbu started to say. What did Naruto do this time? Asked the Hokage as he cut him off. Well, he made some fudge and told me to bring some for you, the Anbu told him. Hey, both took a bite out of the fudge and then start crying anime tears. This is a piece of heaven, said the Anbu in total bliss. This is better than Ika book series, said the Hokage as he began to fall into a food coma. Then there was. The Hokage stared at the Anbu. The Anbu looked back. They stare at each other for a few minutes. So, have you anything to report involving Naruto doing something strange? Said the Hokage. Nope. Well, he was seen carrying 2 buckets of water attached to a pole on his back and climbing up the Hokage monument where he seemed to start a secret garden there that only he can enter. But compared to what he's done lately, it doesn't seem so important, said the Anbu. Okay, well, I'll just go back to my paperwork then, the Hokage said, glaring at his most hated enemy paperwork. Back to Naruto and the others. Wow, this month has been eventful, said Naruto. Yeah, and your skills are coming along quite nicely, Nashi said. Really, I've been training really hard to be a great ninja, Naruto said. Ninja, oh right, your ninja training. Your skills in that are decent. They could be better, but they're decent, Nashi said. Couldn't give the kid a break, could you idiot, Hikari said. Arosation is being a meanie calling my ninja skills decent. I mean come on, I learned that I can gain my allies' special ability by soul linking with them, Naruto said in his corner of woe. Yeah, it was cool and stuff when we found out that you have the Mokuden wood style, so long as you were soul linked with tree, but it's not awesome enough to surpass me, Nashi said. Jerk, Naruto muttered. It's time like this that I'm glad you are not a father, Hikari said. Oh come on, you know you want to have a mini-me running around calling you mama, said Nashi. Shut up, Hikari said while blushing. So kid, what are you doing today since you don't have class? Nashi asked. Well, I was going to send some clones to do some pranks while establishing my alibi by working on making the medium for Cloud and Tree at the Hokage's office, since my sealing and sewing skills are good enough to make them. Then, tonight is the night of the concert in the foe rest that I set up for Yuta-chan, Naruto replied. At the Hokage's office. Yo, Ojiazan, I've come to hang out with you since I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm going to stay here and be working on some stuff, Naruto said. Okay Naruto, I could use the company, the Hokage said. Hours later an Anbu burst into the office. Hokage-sama, there are reports of pranks all across the village, it must be Naruto. We have to find him, said the Anbu. Okay, found him, said the Hokage as he pointed toward Naruto. Yo, Anbu-san, Naruto said, raising his right hand to greet him. How long have you been here? The Anbu asked. Since 10 a.m. this morning, Naruto replied. Then suddenly a bunch of the villagers and ninjas burst in. Stink bomb, water balloon, clothes disappearing, rabbit doing the moonwalk, demon brat, were some of the words coming out of their mouths. Look at what happened. This is the demon brat's doing, said one of the villagers. Hey Anbu-san, can I borrow your kunai for a second? Naruto asked while deciding if the dancing rabbit might have been a little overkill. They all turned to look at Naruto, wondering how long he had been there as the Anbu give him his kunai. Then Naruto made a small cut on his figure and bled some into the container, mixing it with the ink inside, which shocked most of the people there. Naruto, what are you doing? The Hokage asked. Mixing my blue D with some ink here, Naruto said as he finished mixing it and started drawing symbols on the inside of the dolls he made. I can see that, but why? The Hokage replied. Blood is an important ingredient. NT used for sealing. Naruto responded while finishing the last symbol, and he began sewing the dolls and stuffing them with cotton and small stones. Sealing. I didn't know you know how to do that. Naruto, that is amazing. So, what does the seal that you're making right now do? The Hokage asked. It will either give me a friend that I can play with because no one wants to be friends with me, or some powerful dragon that I have to aid in its quest to save the world. Considering how cool dragons are, I'm shooting for that, Naruto said as he continued his work. Everyone's sweat dropped at that, thinking that it was something he was willing to do. Just then another Anbu burst inside. Someone just now unleashed a stink bomb and it burns, the Anbu said, running around in pain. I didn't do it because I've been here the whole time. All of you've seen me too, said Naruto, finishing his work while thinking that Stink Bomb 32 was a success. Then, Naruto channeled chakra into the dolls, and when Tree and Cloud touched the doll that looked exactly like them, they began to possess them as the doll's eye went from dull to full of life and began to move. Yeah, I'm alive now. We can play hide and seek with Naru-kun, Cloud said. Shocking everyone. We did that before, said Tree. Tag, said Cloud. Done it, replied Tree. Play ping pong, asked Cloud. We can do that, but we have to find a table, net and paddles, said Tree. If you have nothing more to say you can leave now, said the Hokage, addressing the crowd of ninja and villagers. So what does the seal truly do, Naruto? The Hokage asked as everyone was gone now. It gives my familiars a physical body to possess, Naruto replied. That's truly amazing, Naruto. Now if only you knew a seal to deal with paperwork, the Hokage sighed. Well, I don't know about a seal, but there is the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu that I just used it to pull off those pranks, said Naruto. The Hokage stared at Naruto for a few minutes, then face-palmed. After a thank yous and not a few grateful anime tears, he said, Thank you, Naruto, with your help with the dread paperwork. If there is anything I can help you with, let me know. Well, you can forget that. I mentioned that I did those pranks and also help with my staff technique, since I heard you are skilled at that, was Naruto's reply. Done, the Hokage said, and made some Kage Bunshin to do paperwork while he went off to train Naruto. On the way to the Forest of Death, Naruto was walking to the Forest of Death when he felt some was following him with the Shinigami no Okurimono. Okay, I know you there. Why are you following me? Naruto shouted to the mystery person. A girl with dark blue hair, fair skin, and white eyes with a tint of lavender stepped out. Naruto recognized her as Hinata Hyuga from his class. I'm sorry Naruto-kun, Hinata stuttered. So why are you following me, Hinata-chan? Naruto asked as Hinata blushed at him, adding chan to her name. I was worried Abu. Tyub because you have been acting strange lately, Hinata said. So you've been stalking me? Naruto asked. No, I have been observing you from afar, she said. What's the difference? Naruto asked. Stalkers take your things for their collection, but someone observing from afar doesn't, Naruto-sama, Tree said. Have you taken and stuff from me like Tree said? Naruto asked. No, Hinata replied. Okay, you're not a stalker. Wait, did you say you worried about me? Naruto asked. Yes, Hinata replied, blushing. Does that mean you care about me? Naruto asked. Why yes. Hinata replied, blushing harder. Yes. Thank you Kami. I finally have a friend who's human and alive. Naruto cried anime tears as he hugged Hinata who fainted on contact. Oh no, she fainted. Is she sick or something? I have to do something. I don't want to lose a friend that I just made, Naruto said, panicking. Wow, I think Naru-kun is really dense, Cloud said as Hinata regained consciousness. Mookn Naruto-kun, Hinata said as she began to wake up. Okay. Hey, I'm doing a concert in the forest. Want to come? Naruto asked. Yes, she replied excitedly. Okay, but you have to keep it a secret on what you will see. I will explain about that later, but if you want to come you have promised to keep it a secret, Naruto said. Okay and Naruto-kun, said Hinata. In the forest of death. They came to the meadow that Naruto and Tree found that became their secret base. The field was full of animals of the forest, ghosts, and spirits of all kind. Welcome to my secret base. Okay, the thing is, I can see and communicate with spirits and ghosts and this concert I set up is to help a ghost cross over. I am about to activate a seal so you can see and hear the spirit within this meadow, but don't worry because they can't harm you. Okay, Naruto said. Oh okay and B by the way this place is beautiful, Hinata replied while blushing from being with Naruto. Thanks, Naruto said as he activated the seals and Hinata saw all the ghosts and spirits appear. And this, Hinata-chan, is Yuta-chan. She's the ghost I am helping today and performing with. Yuta-chan, this is my new friend Hinata-chan, said Naruto. Hello. They greeted each other. Hey Naruto, how have you been? The Shinigami greeted him. Shinigami-sama, what are you doing here? Naruto asked. Shinigami. Hinata cried. Yeah the Shinigami. He's the reason I can see ghosts and spirits. I also work part-time for him, but don't worry. I don't think he's here for your soul, Naruto said. No I'm not here for her soul. I'm here because of you Naruto. The Shinigami said. What? I thought that it was not my time until a long time from now. Naruto said. Calm down, I'm not here for that yet. Besides, you're not even dying. I am allowing 2 souls to visit their home village, Konoha, in exchange for training you from time to time when they are not busy looking around. Since you want to be Hokage and what Crow told me about what you can do when you soul link with Tree, who better to train you than the first Hokage Hashirama Senju and the second Hokage Tobirama Senju, said the Shinigami. Hello Uzumaki-san and friends. We have heard great things about you, said the first. Yes, we hope we can help you in any way we can, said the second. It'd nice to meet you're both, Hinata said with a bow. Yeah, it is nice to meet you old guys again, Crow said. Wood guy and water guy it's nice to meet you, Cloud replied cheerfully. You may have created the forest around here but we forest sprites own the whole forest, Tree said with pride. You guys are older than Ojiazanum but you don't have any winkles, Naruto said. Hinata was shocked at the way they talked to the former Hokages. Ha ha, I guess Sarutobi's age is catching up to him, the first said. Anyway Naruto, keep up the good work. Our little project is coming along but there's still some fine-tuning to do. Now, go start your show because I haven't seen one in a while. Afterward, I will take Yuta's soul to heaven myself since I'm already here, the Shinigami said. Yeah, we should get started Naruto-kun, said Yuta. Okay, Hinata-chan, can you hold on to Crow for me and sit next to Hikari-chan? Hikari-chan and Crow-kun, make sure Arosation doesn't do anything to mess up the show, Naruto said. Why would you think that I would do anything? Nanashi asked innocently. Because you are a perverted idiot, Naruto, Hikari, Crow, Cloud, and Tree said together. You guys are all meanies, Nanashi said in his corner of woe, crying anime tears. Naruto, Cloud, Tree, and Yuta got on stage and began their performance as Hinata and the other looked in awe at the beauty of their voices and song. Their performance lasted into the night and the song was heard throughout the forest. Those villagers and ninja alike near the forest heard the alluring music and for those brave enough venture into the forest for the source of the sound only turned back when they got near enough to see spirits of all kinds surrounding the area that the music attract them to. They ran off never see who the performers were. Thus, This event started the rumors of a haunted forest. The legend of the spirits of the forest playing music. Omake. The true incident of the flying monkey. Marketplace. Naruto and the gang were walking around the market vendors when they all stopped by a stand to look at some bananas. Bananas? Huh, I think I can make some smoothie or milkshake with them, Naruto stated. They are good quality, Naruto-sama, said Tree. Hey, you're not welcome here, demon brat, said the fruit vendor. But I just want to buy some bananas, Naruto said. No bananas for you, said the banana Nazi. But, Naruto started. I said no bananas for you, he said as he began to pelt Naruto with rocks. Naruto ran away from the crazy fruit vendor and his stand. We have to get him back for what he did to me. Any ideas? Naruto asked. Flying monkey, Nanashi said. Flying monkey, Naruto asked. Flying monkey, Cloud cheers loudly. Flying monkey, Tree agreed. Definitely flying monkey, Crow confirmed. Where will we get flying monkeys? Naruto asked. Forest of Death. They have all kinds of creature, said Nanashi. Yeah, there are even colonies of kung fu squirrels, Tree said. At the den of the flying monkey, Naruto and friends stood in front of the council of flying monkeys. What do you want, human? One of the flying monkeys said in its language. Well, I wanted some bananas but some jerk vendor wouldn't sell me any and threw rocks at me, Naruto said. All of the flying monkeys gasped. Denying anyone of the goodness of a banana is the highest crime for us. Not only will we give you the justice you deserve but also the bananas that you should have gotten, said the flying monkey. Great, can you also get me some other fruit? I want to make some smoothies and milkshakes, Naruto said. Only if you give us some too, the flying monkey said. Deal, Naruto replied. The next day the banana Nazi vendor was horribly maimed by flying monkeys and his fruit was stolen from him while Naruto and friends were having a smoothie and milkshake party with a bunch of flying monkeys. Chapter 5 The path of a ninja began by taking the first step in 1,000 face fault. Different language. Secret base inside the Forest of Death. 11-year-old Naruto, who is in his final year of attending the academy, and the gang were enjoying their day off. Naruto-kun, why are you reading that book? Hikari asked in a sweet but threatening tone as she saw Naruto reading an Ika Ika Paradise book. After Arosation, give me the traumatic version of the talk, which you end up beating him up for, and then give me the safe version. He thought that since he partly corrupted me with that, then he might just as well as corrupt me all the way by having me read this, Naruto said. It is a true work of art for all of mankind to experience, Nanashi said with anime tears. The writer is a god among men, Crow. The first and second Hokage said together, which prompted Hikari to give all four of them a thrashing of a lifetime. It's low-rate smut, Naruto said. Blasphemy, Nanashi, Crow. The first and second Hokage shouted weakly from the ground. Sure, the scenes are very descriptive and the story has a lot of emotion in it, but there's no character development and the plot is lacking. I could write a better novel than this. No, I will write a better novel than this so no one will have to read this crime against literature, Naruto said with a spotlight on him. I'm so proud. My pupil is writing smut and porn, Nanashi said with tears in his eye again. I'm doing no such thing. As I told you, I will not end up being a pervert. I already have the problem of being surrounded by them. I will not turn into one of them, Naruto said. Join us, become one of us, one of us, one of us, Nanashi, Crow, the first and second Hokage said zombie-like. Unlike Hikari began to beat them up again. Am I interrupting something here? The Shinigami asked. No, just idiot being idiot, Hikari said as she continues to thrashes them. Right, anyway, I done with molding a body for Kurama now. All you have to do, Naruto, is to separate Kurama's chakra from him. So when you use it the next time, it doesn't influence you, and then I can put a new seal on you. You know how dangerous this is, and if you failed you will die. However, if you want to turn back, now would be the only time you can, but if you do you won't get another chance ever, the Shinigami said. I know it is dangerous, but this is some thing I have to do, so I'm going to do it, Naruto said. And we will help you. We're not going to let you do this alone, Nanashi said, and the other nodded in agreement. Okay, Shinigami no Tamashi no Shoheki, Death God Soul Barrier. This barrier will be taken down once you complete what you're supposed to do, but if you failed it will drag you and Kurama to the world hereafter. Let's get started, saw id the Shinigami as they enter Naruto's mind. Naruto Mindscape. Wow kid, I know you are stupid, but there are more empty space in here than I thought, Nanashi said. Be nice, Hikari said as she slaps Nanashi in the back of his head. The first thing you have to do, Naruto, is go through this door to face and defeat the darkness in your heart alone. You can't face Kurama until you do this, said the Shinigami as he pointed to the door behind. Naruto, remember what I told you about pain. Don't ignore nor forget about it, but learn to live with it because it is a part of you and make you who you are, Nanashi said. Naruto nodded and walked through the door. Inside, what he saw all around him was a ruined city with broken and collapsed buildings. Sitting on top of one of the ruining structure was another version of him with black eye and red pupil. Well, look who came to visit. It nice to finally meet myself, said Yami Naruto, Dark Naruto. So you're the darkness as my heart. You know, I thought you would be more symbolic. With black hair and wearing inverted color clothes to mine, but not this, Naruto said. Yeah, I'm the darkness in your heart, and it is foolish to think that you see and defeat me because you won't, Yami Naruto said as he charged at Naruto. Well, I won't know until I try, Naruto said back and charged at him too. Naruto began by using Muay Thai style that Nanashi Tao GHT him for close combat and started off with a jab. However, Yami Naruto, and using the same style against him, did a jab too as both their fists hit each other faces. Then both use a knee strike to the stomach followed by an elbow slash and finish off with a roundhouse kick. Ha ha ha, I told you that you can't defeat me because I know your every move, said Yami Naruto. And like I said, I won't know till I try, said Naruto as he call out Mugen no Sore in scythe mode. Oh, then prove me wrong, Yami Naruto said as he pull out Mugen no Sore too, but it was pure white instead of black with red chakra blade instead of blue. Don't worry, I will, Naruto said as he slashed horizontal with his scythe to be blocked by Yami's own scythe. You will fall, you will lose because you are weak, Yami said as he continues to trade blow with Naruto. I am not weak, futon. K-Surshu, wind style. Wind slash, Naruto reply slashing his scythe creating crescent shape wind attack to cut Yami, but he cancel it with the same attack. Yes, you are. You're too weak to face your fear, too weak to face the truth that you are running away from, Yami said as he jumps up in the air to do a vertical slash. And what would that be? Naruto asked as he blocks the last attack. That you are the monster that everyone said you were, because deep down inside you want them to bleed the same bloods that they made you bleed, cry the same tears that they made you cry, and suffer the same pain that they made you suffer, said Yami as he rushed in to do a diagonal slash to cut Naruto, but this time he didn't block nor move but took the attack head on. You're right. Deep down in my heart I truly do feel that way. I buried those feelings because I am so afraid to face that part of me, for if I do I will have to acknowledge it, and then those who hate and spite me would have won, and I would have to admit it that I lose to them, lose to the hated, and lose to the sorrow and pain. I wasn't strong enough to face neither my problems nor the pain inside, so I lost faith in myself and became weak, while you stay strong for bear it, and for that I thank you as well as apologize that I was unable to do anything for you. But now it is time for me to step up and stop run away from who I am, so let face the world together as one to become the greatest ninja in history. We can do this because we are Naruto Uzumaki, the most epic in Oz. Own ninja who will be a kick-ass Hokage, Naruto said as he hugged his dark side. So you were able to defeat me, huh? Thank you for accepting me, and please don't ever forget about me, Yami Naruto whisper as he merges with Naruto. I won't, because you are part of me now, so you will always be there for me, Naruto said as he steps outside to join up with everyone. Outside with everyone. It looks like you defeat your dark side, Naruto, Nanashi said. More like embrace it than defeat it, Naruto said. So did you get the dark side famous grandma's homemade cookies? Nanashi asked. Yes, and I ate them all and didn't give you any. But it not like it matter because you can't eat at all, Naruto said sarcastically. It is cruel to mention that I can't. I was never that mean to you, Nanashi said with anime tears. Yes you were, Naruto deadpanned. Ah Naruto, it seemed that you conquer your dark side, now you can face Kurama, but before that there are some things you should know and people you should meet, the Shinigami said. I guess I will go first, Crow said. What do you mean? Naruto asked. When we first met I told you that I will tell you my real name and why I am helping you out, so here it goes my na. Me is Obito Uchiha. Crow now Obito said, changing from a bird form to a male with short black spiky hair and dark eye. Uchiha huh, any relation to Sasuke Tem? Naruto asked. I'm his cousin and Toei. I'm helping you it because I was one of your father's student and he helped me out a lot when I was alive, so to make it up to him I asked the Shinigami to become a Reaper to help. You, Obito said, so you know who my father is, who is he? Naruto asked. Not only your father but your mother too, but instead of telling you who they are why don't you meet them, Obito said as two people appear behind him. There stood a woman with fair skin, blue eyes and long red hair, and next to her stood a man with bright blue eye and spiky blonde hair who Naruto recognized as the Yondaime Hokage. Mom? Naruto asked the woman who nodded yes to him. So where dad? I only see mom and the Yondaime. Naruto asked. Well, I'm your dad, Naruto, the Yondaime Hokage also known as Minato Nimekes, and this is your lovely mother Kushina Uzumaki, the Yondaime said. What, my dad is the fourth Hokage? Naruto yelled. Yes Naruto, Minato replied. Dad? Naruto said with terror in his eye. Naruto, Minato said with terror in his eye too. Dad? Naruto said. Naruto, Minato said. You idiot, Naruto yelled as he elbowed his father in the stomach, sending him flying backward. I guess you're angry that I sealed a nine-tail in you, right, Minato said weakly from the ground with blood coming out of his mouth. Yeah, but with that we are now even, Naruto said. Told you he would be pissed. Anyway Naruto, it is nice to meet you, you grow up so much. We're really proud of you, Kushina said. Mom, I wanted to meet you for so long and there's so much I wanted to tell you, Naruto said. I know, but let's deal with the fox first before we catch up, Kushina said. Okay, you guys do that while I keep a lookout outside, the Shinigami said. In front of Kurama cage. So kid, you finally came to face me, Kurama said staring down at Naruto. Yes Kurama ni-san, Naruto said. I wish you wouldn't call me ni-san, but it look like that won't change. Anyway, it is foolish to face me because you can't hope to defeat me, Kurama said. You know Yami me said the same thing when I face him, but unlike then I won't be doing this alone like last time, Naruto said. Yeah, you damn dirty fox, now face the awesomeness of Nanashi said. Ignoring that idiot here we are here to help Naruto-kun, Hikari said. Sorry Kurama Oni-chan, we have you outnumbered here, Mugen no Sora said. I wish all of you would stop that, it's not like we're a family or anything, Kurama said. But we could be Fox-kun. Anyhow, let have some fun. Cloud said. We're not here to have fun, we're here to help Naruto-sama, Cloud-kun, Tree said. That right, you overgrown fox, Obito said. Long times no see Kurama, said Hashirama. I can't believe you face something like that, brother, said Tobirama. The first and second Hokage have graced me with their present, Kurama said sarcastically. Don't forget about us furball, Kushina said. Look like we get a chance to have our rematch, Minato said. What a reunion we have here, so many people to die at my hand, Kurama said. UKN. Ow, I'm the only one here that is really alive, therefore the only one who can really die. Anyway, let's get started, you guys either bind him or distract him so I can take his chakra, Naruto said as he pulled off the seal and released Kurama. Chakura-chan, chakra chains, Kushina said, binding Kurama. Mokuten Haijutsu. Jukai Koden, secret wood style. Nativity of a world of trees, Hashirama and Tree said together to trap Kurama in a forest of trees. Sweden. Suiryuden no Jutsu, water style. Water dragon bullet technique, Tobirama and Hikari said together to knock down Kurama. Kaden. Gokaku no Jutsu. Fire style. Great fireball technique, Obito said to keep Kurama down. Futon. Keiju no Hoko, wind style. Wind beast roar, Cloud and Mugen no Sora said together to power up the fireball. Nis no Genjutsu. Tobu no Sen no Budo no Jutsu, false reality. 1,000 boot to the head technique, Nanashi said, summoning 1,000 boot to assault Kurama's face. Only you would attack a giant powerful L demon with shoe wear, Naruto deadpanned. Yep, it is really funny to do, Nanashi said with a smile. Rasengan. Naruto go take his chakra now, Minato said as Naruto jumped in and began to pull Kurama chakra from him. Ha ha ha, you think you can take my chakra just like that? Well, let's see how you handle it along with my hatred, Kurama said as red chakra began to take over Naruto. Look like now is he best time to test out that new technique, Naruto said, try to prevent hatred from taking over. Flashback. Well Naruto, since you master a few jutsus in Nis no Genjutsu, Fu no Noroi, and Seishin no Ko Wasu Mano styles of your Shinigami no Okuraman bloodline, now I can teach you about the fourth style. Nanashi told Naruto. What? There are really 4 style and you choose now to tell me about it, Naruto said. The fourth style is not really a style by itself, it is a combination of 2 of the 3 styles or all 3 of them together, so it can affect the mind and body, mind and soul, body and soul, or mind, body and soul at the same time. This style is called Denketsu no Tamashi, Unity Soul, Nanashi said. Cool, what can the Shinigami no Okuraman bloodline not do? Naruto wonders. It can. Set the clock on your VCR among other things, Nanashi replied back. Good thing I found a DVD player from the Chamber of Not So Lost Technology from Alternative Universe, CNSLTAU, although still don't know how to use it any better than the VCR I found at the same place, Naruto thought. End flashback. Denketsu no Tamashi. Shin no Ketsugo, Unity Soul. True bond with this our mind, body ND soul shall be link and become one, Naruto said as a pure white chain appear out of his heart and connect to Kurama. Once the chain link to each other, Naruto experiences all of Kurama memories and Kurama experiences all of Naruto memories. Your hatred is stronger than mine, Kurama, and from what I see of your past I can understand why, however I can't let it consume me, I won't let it consume me 'cause I have thing I want to accomplish and people to protect. It may not be much and there not a lot of people who believe in me, but it's enough reason for me, that way I won't lose here, Naruto said. As the hatred stopped consuming him and disappear, and then Naruto pulled the rest of Kurama chakra from him. Now that we're working together, let be friend and have lot of good memory, Naruto said as the new seal, the Torii seal, formed to hold the fox. Sure, why not, idiot, it could be worst, Kurama said. Good job Naruto, Kushina said. Yeah son, now that we have time in here until you wake, let catch up, Minato said. For hours until Naruto woke up he told his parent about his life and they told him about their outside Naruto mindscape during that time. The third Hokage was reading his Ika Ika Paradise book, while his troops, the Shadow Clones, were battling the eternal enemy paperwork when he felt the fox's chakra surge. He called for the Anbu and then they head toward the forest to where Naruto was. Once there, the third and the Anbu saw the fox red chakra taking over Naruto. When they try to get close to do something to stop it, they end up being stopped by a barrier. Why is this happening? What causing it? The Hokage asked. Look like we have some guest here, the Shinigami said, appearing in front of them. Who are you and what you doing here? The Hokage asked. I'm the Shinigami and I'm here because of the kid. Naruto right now just unlocked the seal in order to battle and take the Nine Tails chakra away from him so that the kid can take control of the fox's chakra without having fox influencing him when he use it, the Shinigami said, which put the Anbus on guard. He did what? The Hokage screamed. Just what I said anyway, you don't have to worry about the fox getting unleashed. Because either the kid does it and the fox is still cage, or he fail and die, which give him and the fox a one-way ticket to the afterlife, said the Shinigami. Did you say he will die if he fails? The Hokage asked. Yes, his life is something you should worry about, the Shinigami said. We have to stop this, the Hokage said. Can't once it start, there no way to stop it unless you want him to die now, the Shinigami said. Is there anything we can do to help? The Hokage asked. Only one thing. We can pray, the Shinigami said. Pray? The Hokage said. Yes, pray. Now have some hope and wait for it to be done, the Shinigami said. Everyone was watching and waiting. They saw the fox red chakra continue to taking over Naruto when it stopped halfway, and then the red chakra began to disappear. After the barrier was gone and Naruto collapsed. The Shinigami moved next to Naruto and place a new seal over the one he have. That should do it, he will be okay once he wake up. Well, I done for now, I will. I'll talk to him later, so see you guys, hopeful not too soon or you be going to the afterlife, the Shinigami said as he left. Then the Hokage took Naruto and head back to the village with the Anbu. After a few hours, Naruto woke up and saw the Shinigami, the third Hokage, the cat Anbu and the undead gang in the room with him. Hey Ojiazan, Naruto said. Naruto, how are you and the seal? The third asked. Quote, I'm fine and the fox is still seal in me, but now I can access his chakra anytime I want without going berserk and can let him out, but he will be under my control, so there's nothing to worry about, Naruto said. That good, the third said, relief that both Naruto was okay and the fox is not out destroying the village. It seemed that everything turned out okay, but there one thing you should know, the new seal kind of did something to your bloodline, the Shinigami said. What happened? Naruto asked, really worried, which caused a thunder to appear in the background and the Hokage and Anbu in the room too. CT. He spirits there and were shocked to meet the ghost of the first, second and fourth Hokage. Well, from what you see here, your bloodline got an upgrade. When you experience extreme emotion, it cause oath. To see spirits around you and cause Nis no Genjutsu to create an illusion to reflect that extreme emotion, the Shinigami said. What is the advantage of these new abilities? Naruto asked. None whatsoever. Not every ability of a bloodline or a bloodline for that matter is useful. Hell, their bloodline that keep your hair forever messy, grow your pinky finger an inch long, and even a bloodly. Nay, that tell the type and color of underwear the female gender is wearing, the Shinigami said. A bloodline that tell the type and color of underwear the female gender is wearing, what a glory's power. Hokages 1 to 4, the cat Anbu. Nashi and Obito said, which caused to Hikari and Kushina to beat up the pervert spirits in the room and send dead glare at the living pervert. Now with that said, everything else you don't understand Obito can help you, so I be going now and let you explain what happened to your third Hokage, the Shinigami said. Do you ever stick around to do your job properly? Naruto asked. Not when I can leave it to someone else, the Shinigami said. Lazy god of death, Naruto mutters. Hey, I do anything to make my job easy for me. Oh yeah, I almost forgot Kurama new body that he will use to explore the outside world is hilarious, the Shinigami said as he left. Damn you Shinigami, you turn me into a freakin' chibi, Kurama yell in Naruto head. Academy. It was the day BEF. Or the graduation exam. Naruto was in class trying to stay awake when an Anbu burst in. Iruka-san, you have to help us capture Naruto. He defaces the Hokage monument, said Anbu with the eagle mask. Yo Eagle-san, did you bring me a treat? Naruto asked from his seat. No. How long have you been here? Eagle Anbu asked. Since the beginning of class, Naruto said innocently. Naruto, have you been using Kage no Bunshin to pull off prank again? Iruka asked. No, there no way a dead last like me can perform such a jutsu, Naruto said in unconvincing tone while looking away from Iruka. Oh really, so are you saying that I didn't catch you using Kage no Bunshin last week and the week before and then the week after? That, Iruka asked staring at Naruto. Damn, I forgot about that, Naruto thought. I plead the fifth, Naruto said. I want you to clean off the paint after school. Now since graduation is tomorrow, let review the Henge no Jutsu transform technique, Iruka sigh as everyone groaned. This is all yo faults, Naruto, said one of his classmates. That where you are wrong there, it was my clone not me that pulled the prank, Naruto retort. That may be true, however, since you made the Kage no Bunshin T. Hat pulled the prank, you were an accomplice, therefore making you at fault as the clone, Shino said. Point. Curse you Shino and your logic, Naruto said. Next, Uzumaki Naruto, Iruka said. Henge, Nar, Yuto said as he transformed into a nude girl with two ponytail surrounded by smoke that cover certain private part that cause Iruka to fall back with a nosebleed. Naruto, you dumbass, don't invent stupid skills, Iruka. Yell with big head no jutsu. My Oroku no jutsu, sexy technique, is not stupid. Consider that the fact that most male ninja are pervert, this move can knock them out and give me time to kill or humiliate them. Depending if they are friend or foe, Naruto said. Iruka eye twitch in response. Iruka sensei, you eye are twitching, you should have that check out, Naruto said. After Naruto finished his community service of cleaning paint off of the Hokage monument, Iruka took him to get some ramen at Ichiraku. Naruto, how comes you vandalized the Hokage monument? Iruka asked. Yeah, Naruto, what pose did you have to do that to our handsome mug? Asked the first, second and fourth Hokage's ghost. As the self-proclaimed prankster king of Konoha is my special way of showing my respect to them bees. I made them look pretty. Naruto answer as Chuki, Iruka and the Hokage's sweat drop at that. Tomorrow is you third time taking the exam, so are you going to stop pretending to fail? Iruka asked. Quote, I have no ideas what you're talking about, Naruto lied. Naruto, I'm you teacher and I know you long enough to know when you or fail the class on purpose, but I don't know why, Iruka said. For two reasons. One, your enemy tend to underestimate you if they think you're weak and being dead last is a way to hide your true strength. Secondly, because the villager tend to treat me less harshly if they think I'm Adobe, Naruto said. You really shouldn't have to deal with thing like that, Naruto, Iruka sighed. Don't worry, I prove them wrong and gain their respect when I become Hokage. And for the test too. Tomorrow, as long as I don't have to do the Bunshin no Jutsu or find a way to fake it, I can pass, Naruto said. So you can't do the Bunshin no Jutsu? Iruka asked with concern. So the Bunshin no Jutsu will be on tomorrow test, Naruto sighed. Iruka nodded yes. Damn, no, I can't do it because I have damn too much chakra that I overload the jutsu. The best I could do is to make one Bunshin which barely last a few seconds. I could use Kage no Bunshin, but they are solid and not intangible like the regular kind. Wait, I have my bloodline which I could use the Nis no Genjutsu to fake the Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto said. You have a bloodline, and what do you mean fake the Bunshin no Jutsu? Iruka asked. It a secret, but if you promise me I won't fail if I fake the Bunshin no Jutsu, I can tell you, Naruto said. Depend on what I hear, Iruka said. Fine. With my bloodline I can create an illusion of my own design, however it not like Genjutsu because I can make any damage inflict on an opponent by the illusion real if I do a certain thing and it can't be dispelled by Kai, Naruto said. So you going to fake the Bunshin no Jutsu by using this ability of yours to make illusion of yourself, Iruka said. Yep, so can I pass by doing that, Naruto asked. Well, you would be making clone of yourself and they are intangible because they are illusions, so technically it the same as Bunshin no Jutsu, so yes, but you will also be test on other subject that you need to pass to in order to graduate, Iruka said. Yeah, I know, don't worry, I will surprise everyone with my amazing skill tomorrow. The next day, WN. Today is the day that I start my path as a ninja, Naruto said, rubbing his eyes. You should have gone to bed early yesterday, Naruto-sama, Tree said. I couldn't sleep, too nervous about do the test, Naruto said. Don't worry son, your father was the same way, Kushina said. So were you should have seen what she did, Minato said. And what did I do, honey? Kushina said with a fake smile and tick mark. Nothing, my red hair goddess, Minato said. Could you guys not flirt in front of me right now? I don't need to be sick before the test even started, Naruto said. Sorry, said his parent blushing. Naruto, for the 100th times promise me that you burn that orange jacket soon, Nanashi said. Hey, orange is a cool color, but I know this bright orange color is not good for being a ninja, so I will wear the new clothes I made when I made Genin. Also, I think I might go through a cosplay phase, Naruto said. I didn't think you were into cross-dressing, Nanashi said. I will be dressed as male or actor. I'm not a trap, you jerk, Naruto said. Academy written exam. Naruto was looking at his ghost family and friend for help. Sorry Naruto, we know you hate written test, but this is something you have to do by yourself, they said. Mugen. Kurama, help me, he said to them in his mind. Sorry, we never need to read or write anything, so we can't help you, Mugen said. Tough luck, kid, Kurama said. Street. UPID writing test. What does this have to do with being a ninja? I just have to do my best, Naruto thought. Ninja tool exam. Uzumaki Naruto, Iruka said. Quote ellipsis quote. Naruto, Iruka said. Quote ellipsis quote. Naruto was asleep, standing up, blowing a snot bubble. Naruto, wake up, Iruka yelled. Ah. Naruto scream, wake up, throwing 10 shuriken and 10 kunai on instinct, hitting a perfect bullseye on all of the dummies and targets. Everyone blinked, not believing what they saw. Was I supposed to go next? Naruto asked, scratching the back of his head. Yes, you were supposed to hit the targets with 10 shuriken and 10 kunai. And get graded on how well you hit them, Iruka said. Well, since I end up hitting the target even if I was not awake, does that still count? Naruto said. Sure, let's just move on, Iruka said. Taijutsu test. Okay Naruto, don't worry, I will go easy on you, Mizuki said with false kindness and a fake smile. Okay Mizuki-sensei, Naruto replied but thought, idiot with the Shinigami no Okurimono, I know that you really hate me. I also know that you sabotage me in class every chance you get, so go ahead and go easy on me as much as you want, but I'm going to make you pay for what you did to me, jerk. Mizuki and Naruto got into their fighting stance. Mizuki in the Ikdemdi style and Naruto in Muay Thai, and then they charge at each other. Mizuki was about to strike but Naruto dodged and did an elbow strike to the stomach followed by a knee strike. Then a uppercut and ended with an axe kick to the face. After all those combination music was swaying badly. Finish him, said a voice caused by Naruto's niece. No genjutsu due the adrenaline rush of the battle freaking everyone there, making them look around for the source of it. Naruto tabbing into his inner fury causing a tiger corporeal to forms around high M and unleash a powerful jab at Mizuki, painfully knocking him out. Flawless victory, the voice said again. Genjutsu test. Skip due to lack of interest in the subject even though it is an important part aspect of being a ninja. For them by having it on the written test was enough. As for Naruto, he was glad that there was one less test he have to perform in epically a subject he suck at. Ninjutsu test. Okay Naruto, once you make 3 bunshin you will get your Hitai 8 and pass, Iruka said. Okay bunshin no jutsu, Naruto said while whispering, Nis no genjutsu, Jiko no guntai, Jiken 3, false reality, army of self. Time 3 and 3 intangible clone appear. Good you pass here you Hitai 8, I'm proud of you, Iruka said giving Naruto his new Hitai 8 to put on his head. Suddenly one of Naruto clone's eye turned dark with red pupil. The other had a book in his hand and then he pull out his glasses and put them on. And lastly the last one shrinks to the size of a small kid with large blue eye. Yo, we meet again, said the dark eye Naruto. Yami, Naruto asked. Yep, the guy with the glasses is Brainy Naruto and the little one is Chibi Naruto, Yami Naruto said. Salutation Naruto Prime, Brainy said. Yeah, I'm free, now I'm a bird. Whoosh, Chibi said running around with his hand stretched out. What is going on here? Naruto asked. As you know, when you cast a jutsu you put in a bit of your soul or essence in it which has unforeseen effects. The combinations of this phenomenon, your Shinigami no Okurimonon and the jutsu you use seem to cause your clones to develop a psyche that reflect an extreme aspect of your own personality, Brainy said while pushing his glasses up. Huh, big word, don't understand, Naruto said. As clone or different version of yourself like your smart elf or dark self, and this happened because you did something special. Brainy here is the smart side of you that understand a lot of thing and is really nerdy. Chibi here is the cute version of yourself that have a very serious case of ADHD and infinite amount of energy. And I am the dark, badass, antihero version of you, Yami said. Oh okay, hey wait, can I use my Kage Bunshin no Jutsu in a way to do the same thing? Naruto asked. It quite possible if you work at it, why you ask? Brainy asked. An army of Chibi me plus near infinite energy plus ADHD plus sugar high equal utter chaos and mass destru. Action MWHA ha ha ha, Naruto said with the sky turning dark and lighting flashing behind him. Should we worry that with my genius mind he come up with things scarier than anything that an evil mad scientist can come up with? Brainy asked. Nah, he just having fun, Yami said. Naruto, what are you laughing so evil about, and are your clones talking with themselves? A frightened Iruka asked. Yeah, they are talking with themselves, and to what I was laughing at, it was about a new jutsu I was thinking of coming up with, Naruto said. Something tells me that it is best for me if I don't know about it, Iruka said. You probably be more sane if you don't know what I am planning, Naruto said. Okay then, Iruka replied. Hey Naruto, you should dispel us before your classmate get a cuteness overload from Chibi, Yami said. Kawaii, even if it is the Dobi, this clone of his is so adorable, said the female students. Must hug it, Hinata said. Yep, Chibi is a powerful weapon, Naruto said. After school, Naruto was sitting on his swing wait for the other. Hey, that kid became a ninja, said one of the adult there to pick up their kid. What, why would they let him become one since he is, said another. Shish, we can't talk about it, someone said. Hey son, we glad that you pass, come on, let go and celebrate with everyone, Minato said, coming up to Naruto with the rest of Spirit Gang. After some distance away from school, Mizuki show up limping. Still injury from the fight with Naruto. Hey Naruto, there's something important that I have to tell you. It seems that since your grade was so low that you can't be a ninja yet, Mizuki said. What, is that really true? Naruto asked, look sad at the news. No Naruto, it not true. He is lying, Minato said. What the hell is the bastard doing? If he trying to hurt my son, I'm going to kill him, Kushina said. Yes, unfortunately it is true, but there a way around it. You have to do a special test in order for your grade to be overlooked, Mizuki said. What do I have to do? Naruto asked. You have to take the scroll of sealing and learn a jutsu form the scroll. There a storage warehouse in the wood where you can practice at, Mizuki said. Okay, I'm going to head out now, Naruto said. Ha, stupid demon brat, Mizuki thought. Naruto, he was lying to you. If you do this you will get in trouble, Minato said some distance away. I know, said Naruto. So I guess you have something planned, Nanashi said. Nope, I pretty much making it up as I go along, Naruto said. You really should think ahead from time to time, son, Minato said. So what do we do next? Nanashi asked. Go to the scroll of sealing and wait for Ojiazan and ask him what to do, Naruto said. At the Hokage Tower. Let's see what it say about the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, basic information that I already know, like getting the clone memory and stuff. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique, that will be useful to have. Hano Wei Bunshin Debakua, Shadow Clone Explosion, I will definitely have fun with this, Naruto said. Naru-kun goes boom, 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 Cloud cheered. So clone any other techniques that look good, Naruto asked. They're Kuchiyos. Edo Tensai, summoning. Impure world. Resurrection, that resurrect the dead. It's something we don't want to do but is good to know about in case we need to stop such jutsu. We definitely don't want to fight an army of zombie, do we? Clone number 6 said. No we don't. How about the rest of you guys? Naruto said. Nothing interesting. Most of the clones said. Wait there, Yoso no Ryu no Kami no Kokura, divine heart of the element dragon, you use our element to create a powerful dragon to cause mass destruction, Clone Pai said. Okay, learn that jutsu, Naruto said. Naruto, what are you doing here? Asked the third. Oh Ojiazan, you finally got here. Well, Mizuki was planning to betray the village by tricking me to steal the scroll of sealing for him, but I figure out what he is planning and waiting here to tell you about it. However, it took you too long to get here and I got bored, so I decided to see if there any jutsu I can learn from the scroll until you got here. So what should we do about Mizuki? Naruto asked. Naruto, those are kinjutsus, and they are forbidden for a reason and others should not be using it carelessly, the Hokage said. I only look through the scroll to learn more about Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, which I already master, and jutsu related to it. Other than that, the jutsus I learn from scroll are Yoso no Ryu no Kami no Kokura and Kuchiyos. Edo Tensai, the Yoso no Ryu no Kami no Kokura technique because it looks really cool. As for the Kuchiyos, Edo Tensai, I learned that not to use it but to stop it because I don't want to deal with the Legion of the Undead, Naruto said. I will never understand your irrational hatred of zombie. Anyhow, I don't see anything wrong with what you learn. You have enough chakra to use the Yoso no Ryu no Kami no Kokura multiply time as long as you use it in an wide open area because it has a large area effect. Other than that, I don't see a problem unless, Naruto. The third said, starting at Naruto. Yes, Naruto said. Did you learn about the Bunshin Debakua? The third asked. Yes, Naruto said innocently. Naruto, said the third. I promise to use it only on enemy and on training ground, and I won't use for pranks or on allies or to scare the civilians. To leave me alone, Naruto said. Good, now back to Mizuki. I betting that you come here so I can send some Anbu to follow you while you take a fake scroll with you to catch him in the act, right? The third said. Well, I was planning on tell you so you can send some Anbu to get him by themselves, but you way sound really fun for me, so let do it that way, Naruto said and made a clone to transform into the scroll. I shouldn't have give Him that idea, but now he hear it I can't change it. Oh well, I just let him enjoy himself, thought the third. Anbu, the third said. Yes Hokage-sama, said too loyal Anbu. You heard what Naruto said, help him to stop Mizuki, the third. Yes Hokage-sama, we will aid Naruto-san in stopping the traitor, said the Anbu. In the woods. Damn it, what taking him so long, I'm getting bored. Oh no, why is he coming here? Oh well, I guess this is the best time to do this. Obito, can you get them? Naruto said. A few minutes later Iruka show up. I've found you Naruto, Iruka said. Hey Iruka-sensei, tonight is a nice night for a walk huh? Naruto said. Naruto, why did you steal the scroll of sealing? You will get into a lot of trouble, Iruka said. How can I explain this to you? Natwar said. Then he felt the presence of Mizuki. Oh I know futon. K's no Shoheki, wind style. Wind barrier, Naruto said, blocking the barrage of kunai. Mizuki, I see, so you behind this, Iruka said. Naruto, give me the scroll, Mizuki said. No Naruto, don't, Iruaka said. Okay here Mizuki, Naruto said, giving him the scroll. What? Why Naruto? Did you know what you just did? Iruka asked. Yes I do, Bunshin Debakua, Nar. Yuto said as the scroll explodes, sending Mizuki crashing to the ground. That wasn't the real scroll of sealing, was it? Iruka asked. Nope, it's still back in the Hokage tower, Naruto said. And this is A.S. Ed up to catch Mizuki for betraying the village, right? Iruka said. Yep, there are two Anbu around waiting to strike at the right moment, Naruto said. Damn the demon, I will make him pay. I know, I will tell him about it, thought Mizuki. Hey Naruto, why are you helping the village considering the fact? Mizuki said. No don't, you can't Mizuki, Iruka said. Huh, what are you guys talking about? Naruto asked. That you are the demon fox, Mizuki said with an evil grin. What, I am not Kurama, there no way that I'm as cynical and egotist as him. Also he really doesn't like it when people say that he and the weak blonde hairless monkey, which he called me, are the same being. Here let me show you how much he hates it. Kurama no Mon. Ribaru 1 Rirasu, Gate of Kurama. Level 1 release, Naruto said as door. Appear in Kurama in Chibi Fox with one tail step out. Oh, you have no idea how much that pissed me off, Kurama said, causing Mizuki to wet himself in fear. Naruto DDD, did you just summon the nine-tail fox? Iruka asked. Yes, but don't worry Iruka-sensei, he only had one tail and can't do anything without me permission, and Kurama, will one tail be enough to take him down? Naruto asked. Yes, it won't take much to beat this noob, Kurama said. Good Kitsune no Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Fox Shadow Clone. Technique, now I want him alive to get information out of him, so no killing but horribly maim is allowed, Naruto said as a dozen Kurama appear. Alright, this going to be fun, Kurama said. But before that I want you to apologize for what you did to Iruka's parent, Naruto lecture. But it wasn't my fault, Kurama whimper. Kurama, Naruto said sternly. Fine, I sorry that you parents were kills Iruka-san, even though it was not my fault that someone put me in a genjutsu, Kurama said. Okay, now you can go wild, Naruto said. Yes, Kurama said as he went to maim Mizuki. Did the Kyuubi just apologize to me for killing my parent? Iruka asked. Yes, Naruto replied. And he said he did it because someone put him under a genjutsu, right? Iruka asked. Yep, Naruto replied. No one is going to ever believe that this happened, right? Iruka asked. Right. Naruto replied again. Hey Naruto, I really sorry that I wasn't able to help you out much. I know what it is like growing up without parent. It is lonely and painful, especially the way how most of the villager treat you, Iruka said. It alright, I know you care a lot about me and you the first teacher to teach me that actually treat me like a person and was nice to me, Naruto said. Hey Naruto, I brought them here, Obito said. In fact because you are so nick. To me there's something I want to show you, Naruto said. What is it? Iruka said. Well, I have a Kekkei Genkai that let me see spirit, and there are two spirits here that want to meet you, so I going to use my Kekkei Genkai to let you see them. Denkatsu no Tamashi. Shei no Okurimo no Unity Soul. Share gift, Naruto said, using his jutsu on Iruka, causing them to see the ghosts there. Mom, Dad, is that really you and Yondaime-sama? Iruka asked. Yes son, it is, Iruka's dad said. Thank for giving us this opportunity to talk with our son before we move on, Naruto-san, Iruka's mom said. Yes, thank you for this, Naruto, Iruka said. No problem, Naruto said. Yami and my wife, Kushina, are here to also thank you for taking of our son, Minato said. No problem. Wait, Naruto is your son? Said a shocked Iruka. Yep, Naruto-chan here is our cute little son and we thank you for keeping him out of trouble and to continue to do so when we move on, Kushina said. Mom, parent are really embarrassing sometime, way they are my parent and it keep a secret, so keep me safe from dad enemy, but I trust you enough that you won't tell anyone to keep me safe, Naruto said. Thank for trust me too, Naruto, Iruka said. Some time later when Iruka was finished talking with his parents. Take care of yourself now, son, and you too, Naruto-san. Also know we always be watching over you both, Iruka's mom said. We are proud of you, Iruka and Naruto, since you and Iruka are like brother. You are now a part of our family now, so make us proud too, Iruka's dad said as both of them move on to the afterlife. I will goodbye Iruka's parents, Naruto said. I love you guys, goodbye mom and dad, Iruka said. Then the Anbu that was with them came out. Oh right, you guys are here to deal with Mizuki, I almost forgot about him, Naruto said. Right, the two Anbu said. Can you guys keep my ghost whispering ability and the conversation we have with them a secret? The Hokage knows about my ability and told me that I should try and not tell people about it yet, Naruto said. We shall report this incident to the Hokage in private, and if he said to keep it a secret we will. You have nothing to worry about, Naruto-s. And one of the Anbu said with the other one agreeing. Thank, Naruto said. Now back to problem at hand. Did you just let the Kyuubi out to maul Mizuki? The Anbu asked. Yes, but he can't do anything without my said so, Naruto said. So you have the fox under your control? One of the Anbu asks. Petty much, Naruto said. Man, no one going to believe what happens here, said the Anbu. Yeah, I know, said the other Anbu. Naruto, how long have you been able to do this? Iruka asked. For some months now after I took his chakra away from him during the forest incident, Naruto said. Wait, so the surge of sea chakra back then was you taking control of the fox? The Anbu said. Yep, so any other question? Naruto replied. It using the fox a little extreme, Iruka asked. Maybe, but if I let Kurama do this he be happy enough to forget about being village destroying trigger happy, Naruto said. Well, since you put it that way, the first Anbu said. And Mizuki is a traitor, the other Anbu said. I guess, Iruka said. We can live with that, the three said together. Okay, hey Kurama, time to get back, so back into the seal. Okay, Naruto said. Okay, we should this more often, Kurama said. Then the group headed back with a bleeding Mizuki with them. When they got to the Hokage, there was a group of ninja with them. There he is, get him, said one of the ninja as he went to grab Naruto. The Anbu that Ught Mizuki blocked them to keep Naruto safe. No, Naruto-san was under order to expose the traitor Mizuki, so he did nothing wrong, said the Anbu. That quite right, it seems that it was a success, but I wonder how did Mizuki get all of those injuries, the Hokage asked. The Anbu look at each other. Well, it kind of a funny story, but I think it's something to be told in private, the Anbu said. Well, in that case, let got to my office to hear your report, and Naruto, since you complete your mission you can go home and rest up also. Your pay will be put in your fund, the third said. Okay, said a tired Naruto. Omake. Saga of the Orange Prankster, Trickster, Fun with Anbu tilde. Hokage Tower. Okay soldiers, what is the plan for our latest prank? Naruto said to the gang in front of the Hokage's desk. Naruto, why are you planning to cause mischief right in front of me for? The Hokage deadpanned. Since I will become Hokage someday, this office will be mine eventually, so I need to get the feel of making battle plan in here. Now back to pranking. Any ideas, guys? Naruto said. We haven't visited the Anbu headquarters in while to have fun, Cloud said. What, you guys broke into the Anbu headquarters? The Hokage said. Yeah, last time we were there was to give Bird-san our special chocolate fudge cake for his birthday, Tree said, ignoring the Hokage comment. The Anbus there were drooling at the memory of the Cake not caring that Naruto broke into their high-security headquarters. Okat-chan birthday is in a few weeks and she likes strawberries, so we have to make her some strawberry shortcake for her, Naruto said. Yes, Uzumaki special cakes, the ANBUs cheered. Is his cake that good? The Hokage asked. It like eating a piece of heaven, and Anbu said. Hey, there a new Anbu rookie that just joins, let test out his skill, Naruto said with a foxy grin. The next day with say rookie Anbu. The rookie just got in and put on his uniform when he saw a letter addressed to him. Dear Rookie-san, channel Charka into the seal from Orange Prankster, Trickster. The rookie did so cautiously. Hello Rookie-san, there's some seal attached to your uniform and uniforms of your fellow Anbi-us. Now we are going to play a game and if you win the seal will come off with no problem, however if you decide not to play or lose the seal will activate and there will be an explosive surprise and the Anbu force will go down, Naruto said in a distorted voice out of the seal. What the hell you bastard, why are you doing this? The rookie said. Bastard, the rookie said and went to do his task. Back at the Hokage tower. Naruto, you did know. Chi really put explosive tags on the Anbu uniforms, did you? Hokage asked. Don't worry, I won't do anything that will get the Anbu force kill. As for what I actually did, we have to wait and see, Naruto said. Back with the rookie. He just escaped being beat up by 5 angry female Anbu. Okay, I done it, the rookies said. Okay, next I want you to go to the town center and sing I'm Too Sexy by English Try. Oh right, said Fred while stripping down to your boxer. After that go running around the village in your boxer 2 times and then contact me when you reach the gate of the village. You have 2 hours, Naruto said. Damn, said the rookie as he did that and got a few number from the female population. Okay, next I want you to moon at 20 different location. You have an hour and a half, Naruto said. After a few more embarrassing tasks later. Okay, for you last task I want you to steal an article of clothing from someone using the hidden Kunoichi hot spring. The location of it is on the paper in your right pocket. You have 3 hours, Naruto said. How did you get the paper in my pocket? The rookie said. That for me to know and you to not, Naruto said. The rookie got there and was about to steal a shirt but heard footstep and panic causing him to grab someone bra. The Kunoichis there saw him and beat the living hell out of him. After a few hours he came to. What the hell happened? I remember being at the hidden Kunoichi hot spring and getting beat up but don't remember how I got here or the location of the hot spring, the rookie said. Oh, I forgot to mention that pervert visiting the hot spring tend forget the location due to getting beat up to the point that it caused selective memory loss, Naruto said. Then how do you remember the location? The rookie asked. I'm not a pervert and he pervert Nashi that I got the location from is no longer living, Naruto said. So I could have ended up dead, the rookie asks. Yes, you can count yourself lucky that you lived through that, but see. NCE you fail, I have active the seal, Naruto said, activating all of the seals. Once activated there was an explosion of confetti and every male uniforms turned into a pink lace dress and the female were wearing exotic bikini as the Anbu reputation went down. For the rookie a scroll dropped down and said the following. Overall grade. A stealth. B plus speed. A combat. B. Skill. A. Prize. Some fudge. B. Brownie for being my first test subject and you get to pick 3 Anbu players by the end of the week for next month prank contest. When the rookie finishes reading the scroll he fainted from exhaustion. At the Hokage tower. Hey Naruto, since you will be doing this every month, why don't we count it as AS mission because it deal with the village security and at the same time you are train the Anbu. Now I can't pay you for the mission yet because you are not a ninja yet, but I can start a trust fund that will be out as a bonus when you get pay for being a ninja, the third said. Okay, that will help me in the future, but I wish we're not in a recession right now because they have to cut some money from my orphan check, Naruto said. We not in a recession, Naruto, the third said. Well, someone has to tell them that, Naruto said. Oh, someone will, I make sure of that, the third said with a dark aura. The end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.